everybody doing? My God, I keep looking up there. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing on this fantastic Friday? How are you guys doing today? Oh, my God, I kept coughing. How's everybody doing on this fantastic Friday? It is a damn react day today, chat. Your king, baby, new Nick, T. Brisha, Swarm, Pyro, and Ethan for the sub pre-stream chat. We are a little bit late. My apologies for that. But we have a react day today. We're going to be reacting to a bunch of videos. I just realized I need to get more drinks for my mini fridge because there's absolutely nothing in there. Anyways, today's going to be a react day. Tomorrow, we are going live really early. I'm going to be live at noon EST tomorrow. We're going to be live noon to 3 doing like either reacts or gaming. And then from 3 to 6, we're going to be watching 3 Big 3 basketball tourney games. Ice Cube invented it. It's basically a bunch of previous NBA players that form teams of 3 and 3v3 each other in basketball. JoJo did it last week. He said it's really fun and hype, so I'm excited. I don't know if he's going to be watching it with me for sure yet, but he might. Sunday, I'm not going to be live. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, chat. I'm taking a Sunday off. I'm also taking a Tuesday off. But hear me out. Hear me out, chat. Hear me out. We're going to be live for like probably around 5 hours today. Tomorrow, I'm going to be live for 6 hours. Sunday, I'm not going to be live. Monday, we're playing Firewatch, but we could also do some reacts before Firewatch to make up for it. Tuesday, I'm not live. Wednesday, scary games. Going to be a long stream, 5-hour stream probably. Thursday is going to be a bunch of random games like sim games, shit like that. Friday's reacts. Next Saturday's VR. Next Sunday's reacts. Next Monday is going to be FMV games and then random, maybe like Roblox. Listen, tomorrow we were going to do Drug Dealer Sim 2 before we watch the Big 3 event. Do we still want to do that? Drug Dealer Sim 2 has mixed reviews right now, meaning some people liked it, a lot of people didn't, right? It's like half and half. We could try it out, right? I'm thinking Drug Dealer Sim 2, we give it a go. If it sucks, we skedaddle, maybe do a different game, maybe dishwashing sim. I don't want to overdo reacts. Mods, could we actually run a poll right now on whether or not we do reacts before the Big 3 event tomorrow or gaming? Or both. Do react, gaming, both. Because we have 3 hours before it starts. We're going to go live 12 to 3 before it starts. So we'll have 3 hours to basically do whatever the fuck chat wants. We could probably do both. But I'm just asking because Sunday's normally a react day and I'm not going to be live. And so I'm probably going to do some reacts on Monday. But I could also do some reacts on Saturday. Okay, most people are voting both. Okay, so we'll do like, this is what we're going to do. Today's a full react day. Tomorrow we're going to do like maybe an hour and a half of reacts, probably like an hour, then 2 hours of gaming, and then 3 hours of the sports Big 3 event. Monday we'll probably do like an hour and a half reacts, and then all of Firewatch, which is like 4 hours. Tuesday not live. Wednesday we're going to be doing scary games. Thursday, I don't know what I wrote down for this Thursday. This Thursday, we might do games with other streamers. If not, we're probably going to do random Roblox games and then dishwashing sim. And then maybe on bands, too. I don't know. I think it would be too early to do on bands, though. Friday's reacts, next Saturday's VR, next Sunday's reacts, next Monday, Monday is going to be FMV games. Anyways, if you guys have any games you want me to play or videos you want me to react to, exclamation with Discord, video slash shop, game slash shop. I find most of the videos I watch games that I play. So if you have any videos you want me to watch games that I play, send those there. You guys actually sent some banger-looking VR games the other day. Like 3 of my chatters sent some actual VR games that I haven't seen before. So we're going to be attempting to play those when we do VR on Saturday. But there's also a bunch of other games that you guys sent that we're going to be playing soon, like Still Wakes the Deep just dropped. I'm trying to read what it said. That looked like a really good game. Yeah, Still Wakes the Deep. In 1975, disaster strikes the Beria D oil rig off the coast of Scotland. Navigate the collapsing rig to save your crew from an otherworldly horror on the edge of logic and reality. And it looks like, chat, these are the graphics, bro. Just look at the graphics, bro. Like that. Oh my god. It's supposed to be like a 4-hour game. It looks kind of like an Until Dawn styled story game slash horror. So it's going to be fun. We're going to do that soon. But yeah, I mean, chat, you guys have been sending some good games to the Game Stash tab. I appreciate that. W chat for that. If you guys have any other games you guys want me to play, send those there. They could be horror. They could be funny, multiplayer, story games, FPS games. It doesn't matter. Send those there. Also, hold on. Hold on. All right. Sorry, I was responding to the girlfriend. Anyways, what was I saying? It's a React Day today. That's I was just rambling about if you guys have any games you want me to play or send those there. Game Stuff Chat, Video Stuff Chat in the Discord. Anyways, it's React Day today. Let's stop stalling and lock in. Luke's for the sub, Poppy for the 3. Gonna be probably 4.5, 5-hour stream today if I had to guess. Hey, love you, Joe. Shaylin, GG, Twilight, Aleem, Joe on live for the sub, X Alex for the 3. My mom fell over and cracked her rib. She's 78. How to get to the neighbor to help her get back up. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope she's doing better now. And that, like, maybe they're helping her with her cracked rib, and I hope it's healing. Alex for the sub, man. That's horrible. Or other Alex for the sub, and Alex for the other Alex for the 300 buddies. Thank you. Dylan, Dom, Money for the sub, Lily for the 4, Trashy, Random, Void, J-Pel, Poppy for the sub. Silver for the 4, just got back from ketamine therapy. How was your day? Been good. How has yours been? Thatcher Take, Epic for the sub, Sheesh Log for the 3. Thoughts on homophobes? Also, this is the last of my bets, so love you. You're saying, like, homophobic people? I think homophobia is, rooted in ignorance because people just kind of have a narrow-minded view of, like, well, yeah, it has to be for reproductive value, and you can't have a kid if it's 2 dudes. If it's 2 dudes or 2 women, you can't have a kid or some shit. Buddy, every animal fucks things of the same sex. I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you, pal. Right? If you're homophobic and your logical point is that it's non-animalistic to do so, it is animalistic to do so. It's actually one of the things that many animals do. Other apes and many other species of animals have sex with things of the same sex, right? Like, not humans. Humans do it as well. Humans do it as well. Bonobos do it. Bonobos, I wouldn't even use bonobos in that argument because bonobos just fuck anything. Bonobos use sex as a means of solving conflict. So that's not even an example. But you could use basically any other ape. You could use lions. You could use dogs. You could use fucking cats, big cats, small cats, bro. Every animal that has genitalia does shit with things of the same sex. It's just, if you're that's why it's a shitty argument when people go, oh, well, the Bible says this. I understand, right, what the Bible says. The thing with the Bible, though, is most people just go, and here's another thing with homophobia. The Bible, if you believe that the Bible says that homosexuality is a sin, it's not in the Bible, it is not a sin to be gay. The reason it's a sin in the Bible, based on what I've been taught in my Catholic theology classes as well as my college theology classes, the reason that Catholics and Christians in general believe that homosexuality is a sin is because gay sex can't do 2 things, one of which is love and one of which is have children. To have sex in Christianity, you have to be trying to procreate and you have to be in love with that person, right? So on that level, premarital sex is as sinful as gay sex, right? That's not true. There are so many scriptures that say it's wrong, that say homosexuality is wrong, or that gay sex is wrong. Because if the Bible says that having gay thoughts is a sin, I would say that's very illogical, because in most points, you can't control your sexuality, right? I've talked to priests that will say the same thing, that, like, you can't control whether or not you're gay, right? You can control whether or not you have gay sex is what they'll say. I would disagree with that as well. I don't give a fuck if you're gay. I don't give a fuck if you're trans, if you're non-binary, whatever. Do whatever you want to do with your life. It's your fucking life. That's my take. I think when we die, we fucking disappear. But I'm just saying, from the stance of the average American that may be homophobic, using religion as a means to be homophobic. And even so, let's say, okay, I'm wrong on all of those accounts. Christianity promotes love, not hate. So homophobia is the hatred of gay people. It's still, Christianity doesn't support homophobia. It doesn't, right? It just doesn't. Whatever you're going to point towards it doing that, I could point towards another scripture in the Bible that says the exact opposite. People cherry pick the Bible, if you want me to be real. That's what I learned in college, in philosophy and theology classes. People love cherry picking. And they pick the things within biblical scripture that support their point of view and use them to promote hatred, right? Not every Christian does that. I would say the majority of Christians don't do that. It's the cult Christians, right? Very cultish groups that want to be racist or want to be homophobic or want to spread hate towards a specific group of people, use the Bible to do so, and they fucking cherry pick 10 fucking sentences out of the Bible, which is a fucking fat-ass book if you've ever fucking looked at it, and go, oh, this says I'm allowed to do this. Okay. NXT for the sub. That's my opinion. Sorry for the long rant. Epic for the sub. Take Thatcher for the sub. Oh, I already read all these. Where did I fucking leave off? Alex here. That for the sub. Natural. That's yours for the sub. That's for the 3. After 6 months of claymation, working, the video will be finished in your Discord next Friday. Make sure to set it to one of my mods, too, if I don't see it on the video session tab. Mystery for the 5. I will watch it, though. When are you going to react to the gaming clips we sent to the Discord? Probably next Friday. I'm giving people a lot of time just because I know a lot of the clips I'm probably not going to end up using. And I usually have one of my mods sift through it. I looks for the 350 bits. I live in New Jersey. What do you think of Jersey as a state? It's all right. There's good people, bad people, just like every fucking state did. I like the vibe of New Jersey, though, because I've lived here, man. You know, it's just people are dickheads. But, you know, you kind of like that. You stick to yourself. If I'm being real, like some states, I've been to states where you're walking down the road and somebody might just try to have a conversation with you. Here, if I'm walking down the road and somebody says something to me, I'm not even batting an eye. My pep has not been faulted in my step, okay? The pep in the step has continued, right? If they go, oh, I just keep going, right? I'm not stopping. Unless they say my name, right? Because then it's somebody that usually recognizes me, then I might turn around and go, oh, what's up? But, like, if they don't know who I am and they're like, oh, I'm going to try and spark a conversation with this guy, yeah, no. All right. Bella for the 3. My boyfriend's active been watching since 2020. We always watch you together. I use his money to buy this. Can you say hi, Bella? Hello, Bella. And hello, Zach, as well. Seeing that you were the one that forked up the money for that 300-bit down. Thank you for the fucking 3. Flavored for the sub, floating for the 3. I'm convinced every homophobic woman secretly is just really into me because why you care so much who I kiss. Oliver Maury and TTV for the sub. Bro, that's what I say. Like, I saw that clip of, God, what's that dude that plays Call of Duty? Like, I always forget his name. And he's like this. Oh, Nick Merckx. When I saw that clip where he was like, if you're trans, you're living in a fairy tale land. And he was like, that shit's fake. Well, it's not, because it's existent. Right? That's what I always say when they're like, that shit's fake. That shit's fake. You're either a dude or you're a woman, right? And I'm like, okay, you could say it's fake, but it's clearly a sociological thing that exists within our society, right? It's clear. Can you react to shit? Buddy, this is a fucking React day. This is me yapping. I'll explain the React videos after I get through this shit. It's a sociological thing. You might not like it. It's fucking here. It exists, right? So, I mean, that means it's at least valuable for you to fucking give it a thought without just saying, I don't like it, right? Well, it's not your life, so who gives a shit? You know, that's my always take. Or that's always my take in the sense of, like, when people are always against specific parts of the LGBTQ. Like, it's not your life. You know, it doesn't matter. It's not affecting you. And they're like, well, yes, it is. They want me to call them by they, them pronouns. Okay? And you use they in a fucking casual conversation all the fucking time. Now, if somebody comes up to me and they're like, I want to be referred to as turtle, I'm going to go, okay, you know, I think that's a little outlandish, but if you want to be referred to as turtle, you know, it's your life, I'll call you fucking turtle. But, it's like they fucking have a brain aneurysm over, like, somebody just wanting to be called they instead of, like, he or she. I'm like, holy fuck, man. It's like, it's just say their name if you don't want to fucking say their pronouns, right? Just say their name. It's like, it's not even that big of a fucking deal. TTV for the sub. Shaylin for the 1,100 biddies. Sub for 19 months. Hope you have a good day. Thank you. Lil for the 3. On my lunch break right now, I can't watch a bunch of 3 a.m. I have to watch the VOD. Miss the stream, but are you streaming tomorrow? Yes. I'm not streaming Sunday, though, or Tuesday. Big for the 3. Everybody sins every day, so why focus so much on one? Yeah. The people that focus on other people's sins don't focus on the sins that they have themselves, right? It's like this complex that you have to save everybody around you, but, like, bro, you have to focus on yourself first. Like, I know people that were, like, dickheads to other people and, like, judging them on, like, what they deemed as a sin, right? Because I used to go to a Catholic high school. And they would do that, but then conversely, they would be, like, racist or something like that. And I'd sit there and I'd go, like, bro, like, what do you do? Like, you're racist to people and you're, like, saying all these slurs and things that are spreading hate, but then you're going to judge other people for doing something that you might deem as conversely sin. It doesn't make sense. Light for the sub, call for the 3. Seen a lot of people saying, I don't like people how make being gay their whole personality, but the people that they're talking about 90% of the time don't make it their whole personality. They just post that they have a girlfriend as a girl or something. Laugh for the sub, floating for the 3. Sex-wise, yes, there's only 3 genders, but gender identity is just an identity. It's just grammar. It's a whole different spectrum. Gender is, that's what you learn in psychology classes, is that, like, you basically have a range of masculinity to femininity, and that's where you fall as an individual, right? How you refer to yourself is whatever the fuck you want to refer to yourself as. But masculinity and femininity are just falsely attributed to men and women. Jay West for the sub. Kevis for the sub. Lily for the 4. You're the only YouTuber and streamer I enjoy watching. Dub, 5 for the 3. I'm not homophobic, but trans people cannot be real because of you got in a car crash and needed a replacement organ. What gender would they give you a replacement of? Bro, that does not matter. They are not saying that their sex is male or female. They're saying that they identify gender-wise as a male or female. Transgender. They're not claiming that they have a dick if they have a vagina, right? Or vice versa. That's not... Transgender people aren't walking around going, hey, you know, I actually have a vagina. That's not what they're saying, right? They know what they were biologically born as. They're saying they don't feel that in their body and in their mind that is who they are, right? Yes, if they need a fucking surgical procedure, but if you're saying a replacement organ, like, then you're getting into what? Kevin and Ryan for the sub. That's just a bad argument in my opinion. It's like you're proving a point that doesn't need to be proven. That's not the argument at hand. Beast for the 5. I enjoyed the vlog. It was nice seeing you branch out to something new. Dub, Alex for the 3. Dance Buggy is the best song ever made. No, it is not. Anyways, also, we do have the charity stream next Friday for the Trevor Project, which helps prevent suicide amongst the LGBTQ members. Anyways, lock in for the React Day today, chat. We have a lot of videos that we're going to be watching today. Starting out, we're going to be watching 2 trailers for Smile. Somebody said L. Joe. Buddy, figure it out. People are going to have different opinions than you in life, and you can't talk it out. That means that you are closed in your own group, and you will never figure anything out. If you only surround yourself by people of like-minded opinion, then you won't get anywhere. I'm just being real. Obviously, yeah, don't surround yourself by, like, people that are fucking racist or something like that. But, like, dude, at the end of the day, on both sides, it's on both sides, if you want me to be real. People that only surround themselves by people of the same exact opinion as them, bro, it's like living in a fucking Sims world. Like, I think that's... The internet has done a few things. The internet has enabled people to be more comfortable as themselves, but also kind of separated groups to where they don't have to interact with the other side if they don't want to, which I think causes more separation than previously before, right? Because people just go, you would disagree with me. I'm just not going to talk to you, right? But you have to, right? Because you're in a fucking society, right? You got to fucking speak to people that disagree with you on shit. Where's for the 3? Can you review my unban? Oh my fucking God. I'm not getting off topic after this. We're getting into the reacts. You spammed stoning stream and then said you spammed keep going. I'm about to finish. You are a horrible spammer. Every day you spam. I'll give you another shot. Don't spam messages like that. Tune for the 3. You need experience diversity to experience life. Yeah. 5 for the 5. That's why I want to travel the world. You want to fucking see what new shit is. The people that are like that are also the motherfuckers that are like, that stay in the same state and never leave. And they're just like always in the same town. And they just live their life with the same 5 people they've always known and never do anything else. Dark for the 5. The Bible clearly says the most important rule is love each other and love all, don't hate anybody, just be cool. Wiz for the 3. How was the tourney yesterday? Not bad. It was better than the finals one. Chat, how did you fuck with the Fortnite tourney yesterday? I think it was fun. Beast for the 5. X-Alex for the 3. Only being surrounded by people who think the exact thing as you is boring as fuck. Yeah, floating for the 3. There's no discussion. How about I blame women for being so pretty? It's not my fault. I'm gay. It's theirs. Beast for the 5. Do you share your world with your family? Also, thanks for helping me find love for philosophy. What do you mean by that? Right? Like, give money to every single family member of mine? No. All right. Lock in, chat. Lock the fuck in. Type locked in. Type locked in. 5 stars said read my bits. I thought I already did. I have a different opinion than you, but I respect that we can converse over a topic. Handshake. Also, the point of philosophy streams too. We do have a philosophy video at the end of the stream. I mean, dude, that's why I love philosophy too, because it's one of the only open grounds to where if somebody knows what they're getting into philosophically, it's so easy to just disagree, right? And that's a problem with politics, and we're going to see that with the upcoming election, is that, like, people disagree, but they don't try and find a middle ground or a solution. It's always, like, my way or no way, right? And obviously with some discussions, that's how it's going to be. Like, but, I mean, a lot of things, like financially, you can have a middle ground where both sides get something that they would deem as valuable, right? But people don't want to do that. And in philosophy, you're walking into it going, okay, well, I can't prove that I'm right. I can prove that my opinion is reasonable, but I can't prove that I'm definitively right, right? So I enjoy that. Android for the 3. But much your Vibe Talks ever got to streams. What's your workout plan? Back biceps day 1, chest triceps day 2, legs, abs day 3. Wait, back biceps, abs, and calves day 1, chest triceps, shoulders day 2, legs, abs, and calves day 3, day 4 rest, day 5 repeat. Where's for the sub beast for the 3? Lock in. First 2 videos are trailers, Smile 2 and Long Legs. Second video, first actual video, Rich Go How's the Guy for the Night. It's going to be a Totally Studios off-brand Dhar Mann video. Then we have a cut video, X's reveal they want to get back together. Both short videos. The craziest drugs to exist. The nerds who beat Vegas roulette with science. The bizarre death of the peanut butter jelly time singer. Why do trailers keep spoiling movies? And we did the math. You are dead. Lock the fuck in. Midnight for the 3. Thank you for the fucking 3. Let's lock in here, chat. 25 minutes into stream. First fucking video of the day. Can you react to the 1 to 100 decides who wins 200? Already did. I've watched every fucking Mr. Beast video on stream that has come out in the last year and a half. I've seen it. If you were going to ask me to watch it, I've seen it. I watched it the day that it comes out. Smile 2 official teaser trailer 2024. Smile 1. Who's seen it in chat? Say I. Great film. Honestly, one of the best scary movies I've ever seen. One of the best scary movies I've ever seen. Cool concept, and it's all just based around people smiling creepily. Hold up. All right. Kaka and Splash for the sub. It was cool, not really scary. I think the premise was scary. You know how you fix the problem in the Smile, though? You just go and... Okay. The whole... Who doesn't know the story of Smile? Smile basically is a movie where there's a demon that enters you, and it wants you to kill yourself. But it only wants you to kill yourself if it's in front of somebody else. And when you kill yourself in front of somebody else, they're smiling, right? And it's always a creepy smile, like and they'll like cut their head off or some shit. The demon transfers to people through trauma, right? The only other way you can transfer the demon is that if you have it inside of you, you could kill somebody else and have somebody else watch. And then now you're a murderer, but you didn't have to kill yourself, and the demon transfers to them, right? The way you get rid of it, which is what the woman tried to do at the end of Smile 1. I'm spoiling! Spoiler! 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 The end of Smile 1. She tries to go into a cabin and just, like, you know, be alone so she could fight the demon, because the demon's not going to kill her unless it can transfer to somebody else, because then it dies. And a guy shows up and she kills herself in front of him. The thing she could have done, and I'm a suicide prevention advocate, okay? I say this all the time. But if I'm in the Smile movie and you really want to take one for the team, you just go into the middle of the woods and shoot yourself, right? Because then the demon can't go anywhere, right? Jump into a pit of lava, right? Because then your body's gone and nobody's going to experience the trauma, right? Only in this movie, though. Outside of that, suicide's never the answer. Reese's for the 3. I wish your chat had more patience so you could play Elden Ring. Beast for the 3. It's hard talking about philosophy with my family. They don't understand different beliefs. Dude, that's a lot of people. That's like, it's not even just your family. Menace for the sub. All right, lock in. Dizzy for the 3. Just close your eyes. That doesn't work, dude. The smiles though, they have to have actors that have really creepy smiles. Not that creepy of a smile. Are they gonna have it be a famous person gets infected?
Hello?
No! 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 Get away from me!
What? What is it?
Get away from me!
Louis?
Nah, bro. Oh my god, is he gonna kill himself with a fucking... Is he gonna kill himself with a fucking metal plate? Is that 45 pounds? No.
Something really crazy is happening to me.
Yo, actually, why don't you just strap yourself down? Isn't that a play too? They just duct tape your whole body to a fucking chair and just be like, nah, it'd probably get you to like bite your tongue off. 'Cause it controls you. I don't think you could do anything. Actually. It would just get you to like start like fucking up your mouth so much. It would do something to where you would just bleed out.
I keep seeing this face everywhere.
You witnessed a death. Now it's latched onto you.
Stop smiling at me!
Bro, I feel like they just showed me, bro, this is why I want to watch this video too. They just showed me the whole movie. Bro, like, is that her that gets hit by a car? Oh, that's a dude. Never mind. We don't know who that is. All right, well, we know he dies. It looks like it'll be. I'll definitely watch it. I don't know if it'll be that good though. See, that's not a creepy enough smile. That's not a creepy enough smile. you gotta get somebody that has, like, high gums and, like, fat-ass teeth, right? Because then it looks like a uncanny valley smile. You can't have, like, you need, like, somebody with, like, chipmunk teeth to do the, like, and then it's creepy. Yeah, like a Jim Carrey smile. Midnight for the Three. Love watching you so much. You definitely made a huge impact on my life. I'm eating fruit snacks. You're new for the 5 and 60 bits. My girlfriend's name is also Brooke. I think you guys are the cutest couple. Do you think you guys will ever get married? Yeah. I don't know when, though. I'm pretty young. She's the same age as me. We're both 22. Or she turns 22 in, like, a month. But, yeah, like a month. But Gerber for the Three. Next Super Seducer stream when? Never. So, I mean, dude, realistically, I'm probably not going to get married till I'm, like, 26, 27. Hell, maybe 28, bro. Big for the Three. When are you going to find a fucking pit of lava? Where are you going to find a pit of lava? Iceland? Hawaii? Fuck, man. At that point, you could jump into a geyser. Fucking, I don't know. Where is that? Yellowstone National Park? Your body would get disintegrated from the chemicals in the fucking hot water, and then nobody would be able to be traumatized. They wouldn't even know that you died. You just disappeared. Super for the Three. Just got back from 8th grade graduation about an hour ago. I will say, though, that jumping into a geyser is, like, I think ranked, like, top 5 most painful deaths. Like, because you're effectively getting boiled alive. So, yeah, I don't know if that's the best solution for the smile demon. And congrats, Super, for the graduation. Dizzy for the Three. Jace for the 7, Midnight for the Three. All right. Next trailer, and then we're getting to the other videos. Longlegs. In theaters July 12th. Floating for the Three. Sports before genital warts. Why would you go outside? Can I ask that? Chat, if you hear a weird noise from outdoors and you're in a fucking log cabin in the middle of the woods, probably the worst play would be to leave the log cabin. Is the monster just gonna have long legs?
Is it scary being a lady FBI agent?
Yeah.
Take a nice long look. A letter was left with the bodies. Signed with one word.
I saw a beast rise up out of the sea with 7 heads and 10 horns.
Yo, this is a good trailer, though, because they're not giving shit away. I have no idea what's going on. But it's making me want to watch it.
His horns, he wore 10 crowns.
I'm so confused.
On each head was written a blasphemous name.
What aren't you telling me?
Bro just has a photo of Bill Clinton. Just right behind him. Just old Bill just posted up. President 20 fucking years ago.
Telling me.
More than that. But Bill Clinton was president in, like, the fucking 90s.
I know you're not afraid of a little bit of dark. Because you are the dark.
Do you still say your prayers?
Never once. They scared me.
Hello?
You could have made nice with me. But you didn't. Like that.
Yo, y'all remember that one short film we watched called Don't Look Away? And it's like a monster that's very similar to, like, the endos from FNAF, where when you look away, it gets closer. Do they have any movies that are like that? I wish they had. They should. I don't know how you would make a full-length film on that, though. Would you? I don't. It Follows. Lights Off. how It Follows is a full-length film about it. But how do you make a fucking hour-and-a-half plus movie about something that moves when you're not looking at it? Bro, this movie looks creepy as shit. 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. Hold up, I gotta watch this. I've never seen that. Doctor Who is a series. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks for sharing, man. Doctor Who.
Is that to all of this? I'll be waiting.
I still stand by, like, okay, the Terrifier films aren't the scariest films that I've ever seen, but I would rather be around a conjuring demon than Art the Clown. Being around Art the Clown is probably the scariest thing you could possibly... Like, imagine if I turned a corner and there was, like, a fucking demon looking at me, it would probably just kill me really quickly. If I turn the corner and Art the fucking Clown is looking at me, I know he is going to mutilate my body, and I'm going to die in the most painful, fucking gut-wrenching way. He's kind of bad. No. Chat, if you are not a fan of horror films, do not watch that movie. It is not for the fucking weak. He's skinny and weak. Bro, he's skinny and weak. He sawed somebody vagina down through their fucking skull with like a fucking wood saw. Like a hand saw. He hand sawed somebody's whole... Bro, chat, I can't show the fucking clip. He knocks her out and hangs her upside down. And then he puts her friend across the fucking room, and she's like behind a curtain. And this woman wakes up. And she's like, oh my god, she's thinking that she's gonna die. Right? And then he pulls the curtain down, and her friend's upside down, naked, with her legs spread open. And he, like, it's like a slow scene, and he just saws her in half from genitals down. It is the most... Dude, I thought I was gonna throw up. Like, it's show us. Oh my god, it would be TOS, bro. She's fucking butt naked and they kill her. I mean, it's CG. It's not CGI, but it's fake effects. But it's like, fuck, man. And they made that whole movie for like 20 grand. For the 3. Is there any way you can react to my friend's horror series? Maybe. Fanta for the sub. You got to set it in the video search tab. X for the 3. Terrified 3 is supposed to be much worse. It shows teasers, showing a little girl, and the producers saying the first 10 minutes of the movie is supposed to be the most controversial part, and it's coming November this year. I couldn't even finish Terrifier 2. I thought that was the end of the series. Terrifier 2, I turned it off when they cut the woman's arm off and then started dousing her in salt and poured bleach on her. I just said, yeah, I'm done. I said, yeah, I'm done. I turned it off. I gotta finish the movie. But it's like, bro, I wouldn't even restart it. I would pick up where I left off. Even though I watched that shit like 4 months ago. I wouldn't be able to. Rich girl hires the guy for the night. Am I the only one who can't watch horror movies? I used to hate horror. I used to hate horror. I hated horror movies. I hated fucking horror games. And then I started streaming. And my chat made me play, what was it called? Summer 58, and then some other game where there was an elevator in a dark room. And I was so scared that everything else just didn't seem scary anymore. And so I didn't give a fuck, right? I don't want to say that that's a good strategy, but if you're somebody that's really afraid of horror films or scary games, sit in a room alone and just lock in for, like, what's, like, the scariest movie you guys have ever seen? Sit in a room alone and lock in for, like, The Conjuring. Or The Nun 2. And just, like, watch or Sinister. Yeah. Sit in a room alone and watch Sinister. At, like, 2 in the morning. And then and then somebody's going to be like, hey, do you want to go see the new Terrifier film? And you're going to go, yeah. Because it won't be scary to you. Right? I mean, it might be scary, but comparatively, it's nowhere as bad. Ohm for the sub. Conjuring wasn't scary. It's a scary... I won't watch scary films alone, and I won't play scary games alone. I play scary games alone in my room, obviously, and you guys are watching me, but I'm not really alone because I'm like, I know you guys are chats here, and it makes me feel more comfortable. If I had to play, like, what's like a really scary game I recently played? I'm trying to think. That one like Father's Day. If I had to play Father's Day alone and I was not live, I would be shitting my pants because I'd just be silent, right? Like, when I play a horror game, I'm talking. But, like, if you're alone, you're not going to be talking out loud. You're yapping. What time? Bro, honestly, I might be down to just rip a tomorrow's teachings video right now instead of watching this. Because this is getting... Oh, no. We'll watch it tomorrow. The next one's 7... The one that you guys recommended, the White Kid Shamed for His Small Wiener Part 2, that one's 17 minutes, and we have, like, 9 videos we have to watch today. Do it now. Fine.
Coming up.
Fine. Lord Queso, bro. You convinced me. We're skipping the other one. White Kid Shamed for a Small Wiener Part 2. Let me check that it's not age restricted. Okay.
Coming up
Thank you for the fucking biddies, bro.
tomorrow's teachings.
Why do they always have somebody act disabled in a tomorrow's teaching video? And it's always like the most fucked up interpretation of like somebody that's disabled. It's not like they're just in a wheelchair and kind of like quiet. They're always like manic and like fucking like just like actually it's like fucked up. It's like actually whack.
Coming up.
Y'all remember the one where it was like mom blackmails disabled kid or some shit, and she like took a picture of his dick and was like, if you try, I don't even remember what it was, but it was like the kid was disabled and like she like blackmailed her disabled son, and it was this, I think it was the same exact kid.
On tomorrow's teachings.
Show us! Show us!
Get him out of here, man. Put your pants on.
We have a client.
Can I help you?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
This is going to be the most brutal watch in the fucking world.
Jacob suffered a devastating accident while he was making out with his teacher. He fell
Oh my god, it literally is a part 2. Don't tell me he fell off the bridge.
from the bridge, landing on his head, and sustained severe brain damage. He became autistic. Jacob's fortune...
You don't become autistic. What? You don't become autistic. He could get brain damage. You don't like get autism after you fucking hit your head on something.
with girls had always been meager.
Hi, Jackie.
Hey, Jacob. How are you?
Good.
But ever since he acquired his new disability...
Jackie, do you want to go to the winter dance with me?
My ride's here. I'll see you later, Jacob.
It felt as though any remaining hope had slipped through his fingers entirely.
Mr. Bullet is gonna be here soon, okay?
No! I'm tutoring today.
Yes, you have tutoring every Wednesday. Did you forget?
Can I miss today?
No, Jacob.
But I'm not feeling good.
Jacob, I don't want you failing your senior year again. Your teacher is coming today. You know what? I know you're my stepson and I'm your stepmom, but you need to.
Oh, that's foreshadowing. Oh, that's fucking foreshadowing. If I had to guess, watching this video, they had to make that readily apparent. I know I'm your stepmother. And we haven't grown very close.
To listen to my rules, okay? Hi, can I help you?
Hi, I'm Mr. Henlinson. I'm here for tutoring for Jacob.
Mr. Henlinson. Buddy, you look the same age as Jacob. Just say your first fucking name.
Mr. Bullet couldn't come in today. Unfortunately, he was feeling a little under the weather.
Oh, okay. So you're an 8 in Jacob's class.
That's what I said.
Okay. Come on in.
Thank you.
Jacob? So Mr. Bullet was sick today. Mr. Hensley is here to fill in.
Hi, Jacob.
Hi, Mr. Henley. Hi.
Thank you for...
Am I crazy, or does this kid not know how to keep, like, a level of character, right? He's going from literally just being in a wheelchair to him, like, actually not being able to speak. And then, like, he's going, like, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Why do you do this to all of us? Bro, y'all asked me to fucking watch this.
For filling in.
Your face? Yeah, bro, I'm watching this fucking mouth open. It's like, I'm fucking shocked.
Thanks.
Dude, because you would assume... I remember the first one where it was, like, racist woman kills Mexicans. I remember that. And I was like, they can't really get much worse than this. And now it's just like, dude, they have like full fucking borderline 20-minute videos. And it's just, oh, it just gets worse and worse watching their shit.
Are very hard for him. It's very hard for him to learn.
Well, I'll make sure he learns a lot today. Can I ask, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Iran. Jacob's dad was American, and I miss him so much. Well, I'll let you guys go into it. I'm gonna run, and I'll be back in an hour, okay? Okay, Jacob?
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, kiddo, you ready to give me some brain? Your brain of knowledge? Who's gonna...
Yo, this is like, this is like torture watching this shit. Oh my god, just wait. Brain of knowledge. Thank fuck, dude. I thought he was gonna try and pull some fucking sexual shit.
Get all the numbers out of there. So, what do you want to study today? Math, science, anatomy?
No. It's closer.
Probably math. The homework that Mr. Bullet gave me. Wait.
What is it?
Mr. Bullet was in class today. So, how is he sick?
Actually, he was sick all day. He just is really good at putting on a brave face. But when he got home...
Dude, who the fuck is this guy? If this guy just shows up and just poses as... Like, how does he know that this guy is a fucking tutor? He just shows up and he's gonna try and fucking sexually assault this guy?
He couldn't do it anymore, so he had to call me. So now I'm here. My little mathematician.
Bro, how do they not? How do they
I know
fucking
Mr. Bullet's class
maintain character through this?
can be tough sometimes, so I just want you to know, I'm not just your tutor. I'm also your friend. Oh. So, let's look at this first problem, huh? All right, so it says that Sally has 5 worms.
What do you think his fucking... You know how they have, like, scripts? What do you think his script was? They said, hey, Jacob, just read the lines. I want to study math. In asterisks. Act really offensively disabled. Act improv what you would deem disabled like. just like over and over again for like a page, and then just one more line, and then just method act like you have massive brain injury. Like, what?
Subsequent day, Sally collects 3 more worms. By the
And you know the dude behind the camera's going. They cut this scene. They're like, Jacob, I really liked that. I really liked what you added there. I really liked what you added there at the end.
5th day, how many worms does Sally have in total? It's about worms. You know anything about worms, Jacob?
Oh, no. No.
Not really.
Well, worms are fascinating creatures. They're really good at fitting in tight little crevices and forcing their way through. They're very...
I can't watch this. I can't watch this.
Flexible.
Stop.
I'm confused.
There's so many different types of worms. There's small worms, average-sized worms, and big worms. And they each fit in tight little holes. It has to really jam itself in there. It's a lot like a math problem. It requires a little bit of manipulation.
I don't get it.
Well, let me show you.
No! No!
You want to see a real-life worm, Jacob?
No. But you're kidding me, dude.
Check it out.
Mr. Henley, that's your private parts!
It's because we're friends.
And he just locks back in. And he just locks back in. He just locks back in. Just like that. He's back. He's back. Right? The character's gone. Mr. Henley, stop! Mr. Henley!
Friends, Jacob. And that's what friends do. They show each other their private parts.
What?
It's okay. You can touch it.
I don't want to.
Touch it.
The teacher's aide kidnapped the teacher and assumed his role as the tutor. While browsing YouTube one day, he discovered that Jacob
What?
had gone viral, with every streamer discussing his small penis, which had leaked across the entire internet. This revelation consumed him, leading to a dangerous obsession.
Bro, stop. Bro, stop. Bro, stop. Bro, stop. Yo, chat, we're only 7 minutes in, bro. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can watch this, man. Y'all told me, bro, motherfuckers in my chat mad at me that I put this on. Y'all literally said, nah, put it on. Nah, put it on now. Because fucking Lord Queso was like, hey, when are we watching tomorrow's thesis again? Oh, put it on now. I know these videos are jokes, but like as an autistic person, the joke is getting old. Come on, come up with something new. Floating for the three. We just process some stuff differently. I get it's a joke though. 5 for the 3. Been for a year. You've helped with that impression. One more thing. Code BlueCam when. You gotta send video slash tab there. Exclamation with Discord. Video slash tab game slash tab. Pause and it's no name for the sub aqua for the 3. Airport being paranoid that somebody's watching me see this wild ass video. Alex for the 3. The video is a cinematic tragedy. Taco for the sub.
You know, I think I have a better idea, Jacob. Suck it.
Bro, are you fucking kidding me, dude? What does she just runs in with a bomb on her chest? What? What the fuck? What the hell does that have to? This is crazy. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
What? Where am I? Where am I?
Bro, he literally just fucking curls his hands and squints. And then just says, oh, where am I? Bro.
Oh.
Hey, settle down there.
Oh my god, the fucking doctor with the toupee. I can't get over this guy. Fuck. Nice hair, Doc. Nice hair, Doc. Looks like you're a fucking 21-year-old surfer.
You're just coming to. It's okay. We got you.
What is this place?
You're in a hospital.
That is not a hospital. This is just a fucking... This is a random bed.
What is this place?
You're in a hospital. Well, technically you're in a hotel room next to the hospital. I know it's a little confusing right now. It's are you familiar with the Karen incidents?
No.
Well, there's a lady killing people, Mexicans.
Not the Mexicans?
Yes. And so the hospital's quite full right now, and this is a secondary triage we've set up next door. You got caught in an explosion. But fortunately, you survived, but just barely.
Bro, every part of this video, it makes actually no sense, but you just have to pan into it to even be able to fucking figure out the story. It's all connected. Oh, you're saying the tomorrow's teaching first? Oh my god. Yo, chat, it's like the MCU. It's like the MCU. The Karen that's been killing Mexicans is a part of the same universe in the same city as this kid.
Your injuries were pretty bad from the bomb explosion.
Yeah, why did she do that?
But your tutor, he saved your life. He blocked most of the explosion. He's a good man for sacrificing himself that way. I know this is a lot for you to take in right now.
Doesn't he not have a dick anymore?
But, one, you've been here for 3 months. And another thing is, your stepmother, she's a terrorist.
And they had to say that she was from, like, Iran or some shit in the beginning. They were like, hey, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Iran. And then she goes on a run and comes back with a fucking bomb strapped to her chest. She's a terrorist, but she tried to kill 2 people.
She's with the Osama bin Laden team of terrorists.
The Osama bin Laden team of terrorists. Al-Qaeda? We're not gonna... Does he not know? The Osama bin Laden team. The old fucking... Oh, the blue team. Oh, the fucking Osama bin Laden team of terrorists. Okay. What the fuck?
Terrorists, and you're just very fortunate that she didn't hurt you more before this.
Osama bin Laden got assassinated when Obama was president. Or before then. When did Osama bin Laden died so long ago? Yeah, he died when Obama was president. 2011.
A bit of good news, though. We did find your real mom, and she'll be here soon. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you.
Oh.
Why did he just change his voice into like a fucking 95-year-old smoker?
If you need more support, if you need a family, here's my card. I'll leave it right here. We have a clan.
A clan? What type of clan? I swear to God, it's going to be the KKK. I'm letting you know right now, I wouldn't even put it past them. It's not Clash of Clans, chat. It's going to be the fucking K. It's going to be the Ku Klux Klan. That's what it's going to fucking be. I guarantee you.
I can't believe my mom's a terrorist. Oh my God.
Hey.
That's the nurse. That's the nurse. That's the uniform they're wearing.
Is everything okay in here? You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Are you disabled?
Well, my mom says I'm autistic, but I'm special, not disabled.
Is there anything I can do for you?
I don't know.
I know what will do the trick.
What? What?
You have a vagina.
What do you mean? What?
I'm done. I'm done with this video. I thought she was gonna be like, your dick's cut in half.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You have a vagina.
Calm down.
What are you talking about?
What's wrong with him?
Can you give us a moment? Jacob.
What?
Thank you. Give us a moment. Do you remember anything about what happened?
No!
Jacob, your penis was bitten off. I'm sorry to tell you this, but we had no other choice. We gave you a vagina. I know this is a lot for you to take in, but you're healing well. And
They would ask you. They would ask you. They would wait. What? They wouldn't just be like, all right, we're going to take it upon ourselves to cut off your fucking genitals.
you're fine. We'll take good care of you. We'll get through this.
Hey, Jacob.
Well, what?
Is it true that you made out with Coach Miles and you fell off a bridge?
Dude, I told you already. My mom told me everything.
Shut up, man. I'm not talking to you. Nobody's talking to you here. Keep your mouth shut.
Why is this guy wearing a fucking do-rag? What the fuck?
Alright guys, my name is Mr. Lumbar. You guys can call me Mr. L. The name of the game today is detention.
What the fuck is he writing on the board?
Detention. Alright, no phones. Right? No talking.
That's supposed to say detention?
No horseplay. Come on, get your workout. I got papers grade.
Sorry, Teach. Medical emergency.
Sorry, Teach. Medical emergency. Jacob, how's the vagina doing? Just wanted to ask. You know, I drove actually all the way down here. I drove like 20 miles. How's the vagina? Just wanted to know. And then he leaves.
Jacob. Sorry, man. You forgot your vaginal ointment. You're gonna need this. Jacob, it's very important that you don't forget to take your vaginal ointment. You do not want your vagina to swell up and close.
Oh my God.
Vaginal ointment?
Bro, this guy's a fucking clown, dude. Oh my God. Every video he's in, he goes, vaginal ointment.
Gang, you have a vagina?
Now, class, this is still detention.
It's very important. Do not forget to take this immediately after class.
First he had a small wiener, now he has a vagina?
Vagina
Jacob? Why don't you come to the front of the class?
I can smell your vagina from here.
Shut up.
You having a hard time getting over there?
Yes, Mr. L.
Show us.
Oh my God! Again? 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 2 in 1 video, bro. No.
Show you what?
Show us your mangina. I think we're all curious. Right, guys? Are we all curious? Want to see it?
Yeah,
Show it! Show it!
Yes.
Show it! Show
us.
Hey, dog, stop yapping and show us your coochie, or I'm finna crash out.
What? He just has a gun on him in school.
Holy
I need to scan. I need to scan, bro. I need to scan. I need to scan. It's good.
Ugh. Ugh.
Oh my God, he really has one, guys. Look at his mangina. It looks like a tumor took a crap after eating tacos.
It looks like a tumor took a crap after eating tacos. Let me visualize that.
Ugh. Get him out of here, man. Put your pants on.
How do you pee with that?
Hey, Jacob.
Jackie.
I heard about your accident. It's okay. There's no need to be hard on yourself.
I'm gonna call something, okay? Because it's gonna have a good ending. And didn't he ask Jackie? He asked Jackie to go to prom, and she said no, right? Jackie's gonna be like, well, now that you have a vagina, sure, or something like that. That's gonna be the response. She's gonna go. She's gonna say, oh, I'm into that, or something like that's gonna be the response.
So, why don't we hang after school?
Yeah.
Cool. Come on. Hey. I wanted to say I heard about your surgery. How your penis is gone? How you have a vagina? What's wrong?
Well, Jackie, you see, I've liked you for so long, and
just locked in. What's wrong? Well, Jackie, you see, I've liked you for so long, and it's pretty upsetting now that I don't have just immediately just changes.
Now that we're sitting here, I have a vagina.
Jacob, I have a penis.
What? Oh my God! I didn't call it. I almost called it.
I'm transgender.
Wait. That means...
It means we can sleep together.
Oh! Yo! Yes!
Yes!
My last relationship didn't work out. He had a small penis.
Yeah!
Bro is fucking bugging.
I used to have a small penis and I was made fun of so much for it. And, now that I have a vagina, I think this is going to work out. This is going to work out.
Jackie and Jacob's journey to parenthood leads them to a baby, with Jacob carrying the child for them.
Okay. What?
But as their dream begins to take shape, a grave complication arises, threatening everything they've hoped for.
No! It's literally the MC, bro. It's literally the Tomorrow's Teaching universe. That's a video that already happened. This is a callback. This is a callback. That's a grown man, bro. That's the alien baby from one of the other fucking videos. It's all connected. It's a fucking universe, dude. The fuck was that supposed to teach me? Okay, look, everybody, I can explain. Small wiener gang tea for a limited time. A multiverse is being built from this. So, like, get the same exact script from the last video? You probably really did. Their script's crazier than Family Guy's. Oh, no, dead ass. Yeah, people are just talking about the cinematic universe. That is nuts, dude. All right. That for the sub, plebsy for the thread. Still gotta watch Karen Part 2 as well on this channel. I know I need to. Deb for the sub, Symbio for the sub, Space for the sub, Flutter for the 3. I'm so stoned. This is about the funniest thing I've ever seen. Hi, and Philip and Mac for the sub. Bro, was my weed laced? What is going on? Said Floating. DJ for the 3. Turn the shit off. That's enough. Riley talking about the sub. Alex for the 3. This video, already read that. Big for the 3. She had her legs crossed and knee over knee. We can't do that. Alex for the 3. I could do that. It hurts, but you could do it. Even it, bro, you could still do it. It's just, it's more comfortable to sit like this than to cross because it just crushes. All right. Video. All right. Next. Who is Mason for the 3? My 300 biddies got skipped like 15 minutes ago. What did you say? Noob for the sub. I'm sorry I missed your biddies, bro. Hold up. Trying to find your name. I'm 1,398 pounds, so I'm very skinny. I want to work out. How do I walk into the gym without being scared of getting made fun of? Honestly, dude, I'm gonna have a take here, and it might just be my keep in mind I have a biased take against this gym. I think Planet Fitness is one of the worst gyms to start out at. While it does have a lot of new gym goers, it also has a lot of people that just want to go to a gym for cheap and also coincidentally are the most judgmental people. And I would say most gyms I have been to are not judgmental people, right? Like, I mean, obviously they might be like big fucking beef heads, right? But at the end of the day, if you walk in and you're, you know, somebody that's trying to gain muscle, they're not going to judge you for that. Everybody starts somewhere, you know, at the gym. Like, even the guy that you see that's fucking 250 and is, like, actually walking muscle, at one point, he was where you were. You know what I mean? Or are. Premium for the sub, you're new for the 5. My current girlfriend rejected my best friend because she liked me. My current girlfriend rejected my best friend because she liked me. Well, that's different, I think. Gravity for the 3. I think that if you get somebody who broke up with you, who at that time wasn't in a good mental place, the person who was mentally not good will bring those issues back because of the association. Maybe it brings those emotions, bad mental places back. I think it really depends on the person. I think, yes, there's a higher chance of that, but I don't think that's necessarily true in all states, you know? All right. Okay. Are we ready to lock in for the next video? Parker for the 3. It's a good thing I broke up with my ex and everybody in my life was telling me that I should break up with her. Well, if you think you should break up with her, then it's a good decision. End of story. The craziest drugs to exist. Lock in.
Just another day.
Did you feel it, bro? How was it?
I'm never doing this again.
Think that's crazy? Well, it's tame in comparison to what we have, starting with Salvia divinorum.
I would never do Salvia, bro. I would never do Salvia. There was a time 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I used to tell myself I would do Salvia. And then some things occurred, and I went, yeah, I don't think I would ever be able to do Salvia. What is Salvia? Salvia divinorum is a kind of not a loophole drug, but it doesn't really fit a category that many other drugs do. And so the legality on it is kind of in a gray area in the United States to where companies will ship it to you. I think you have to be a certain age to buy it, but it's like it's legal, right? It's one of those legal drugs where it's like, it's one of the most potent hallucinogens you could ever take, and certain psychedelics like mushrooms or acid have time dilation, which basically means that things feel longer than they were. Like if you trip on mushrooms for 6 hours, it might feel like 12 or 15 or 20, right? Or LSD, you might trip for 12 and it'll feel like 2 days. Salvia, you trip for 5 minutes, but it feels like 5 days. And so people that take salvia, Sugar Ninja said, it seems I am muted at an interesting time. People that take salvia claim that they have lived entire lives in that point. I think there's a comedian. I think it might be Ari Shafir. I don't know for sure. There's a lot of comedians take salvia, but I think it was a comedian on a podcast. He did salvia and he passes out for about like 5-6 minutes, and they wake him up, and he starts hyperventilating, and he's like, "Who are you? And he doesn't know who anybody is when he's coming back. And he says that he lived a whole life for like 40 years underwater with like a family, and he knew his family's names and like their kid, and he had kids, and he had a whole job, and he like basically lived like a regular life in this trip realm for what was 5 minutes to everybody else, but to him it felt like 40 years. It's a dissociative. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a dissociative, but at the end of the day, hallucinogens, salvia is more, in my opinion, is obviously somebody that's never taken it, but just from what I know, because I've taken herbal psychopharmacology classes, and I know a lot about fucking drugs, but it's one of those drugs where you're way more likely to fucking have a terrible time or freak out. It's not something where you're going to just feel like, you know, you're floating on clouds and you're going to fucking feel great. For the most part, it's probably going to be something that's pretty bad. Michael for the 3. Or not bad, but overwhelming. This was 2 days after I broke up with her. A noob for the 3. You might as well be the most self-aware streamer. You've grown so much since you started college, and I want to say I love your content. You have no idea how many lives you've changed, including mine. Thank you. I wouldn't say that I used to be a self-aware, like, streamer or some shit like that. I always do talk about how I've changed so much as a person, but I appreciate that you've seen that. Floating for the 3. Taking salvia was the worst decision ever. I tried to jump off a 9-story building and so much more. Exactly. Also, floating, I truly believe that you have taken every drug in the fucking world.
With Salvia divinorum.
Somebody redeemed Dent. Every time we ever talk about a specific drug, floating goes, "Oh, I did that, and then I woke up on a boat in scuba gear. Oh, I did that. Actually, Datura. Oh, I took that one time, and then I woke up on a Six Flags ride."
A common experience on this is to feel like you become an object, meaning you might turn into a
Like, how have you done everything?
Ferris wheel, zipper, fence, tree, or maybe even a cigarette your buddy is reaching for. My whole life came to this moment. This is my final destiny.
Right, it would be really fucked up, but would be like a really funny prank is salvia kind of looks like weed. Okay, this wouldn't be funny. Never do this to somebody. But I've always thought, like, if you have a friend that's like, "Oh, I would never try weed," and you get him to do weed one day, but you just stuff the joint with salvia. And he fucking rips it, and he's like, "Oh man, this is pretty." just starts going off a wall, and you never tell him. He gets out of it, and you're like, "Yo, man, how do you like it?" And he's like, "The fuck was that?" And you're like, "That was weed, dude." That's not funny? Oh no, it'd be horrible. You could probably get sued for that. That would technically be drugging somebody. But like, imagine their reaction.
And while that might not sound too horrific yet, let me tell you, the memories of being created into said object are all.
I had a friend that never tried weed before, and I would never, if somebody ever asks me for weed, that's like one of my friends, I will always tell them how much I'm giving them. Like, to the milligram. I won't say it's like 20, it's like 50. I'll tell you it's 55. It's 7, right? It's whatever I'm telling you it is. I have friends that do the exact opposite. I have friends that I'm like, "Hey man, can I have an edible?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, here it is." And it's like a cookie. And he knows how much they are. But I'm like, "How much are these?" He's like, "Bro, they're probably like 10. I eat it. 30 minutes later, that was 50. And I'm sitting there just fucking, like, feeling it, right? And he's like, yeah, by the way. And I ate 2 of them or some shit. And he's like, yeah, that was a lot. Fucking dickhead. I had one friend, though. He never tried weed before. And I have these little gummy bears that I got. And they were 50 milligram gummy bears. And I would just eat one, right? And I'd be like chilling, I guess. I mean, I would be high, but I wouldn't be like to the point where I was going to freak out. But he was a bigger guy than me. He's probably 100 pounds more than me. And he was like, just give me the whole one. I was like, that's what I eat. He was like, I'm bigger than you. I went, okay, you want to eat the whole thing? Eat the whole thing. He leaves. I don't see him because there's like 20 people and we're just like all chilling, right? It's like a pool party. And he comes back like an hour later and he goes, my eyes are pulsating. And he's like staring at me. He goes, my eyes are pulsating. And I go, okay. And he's like, am I going to be okay? I'm like, well, you're not going to die. Like, you're going to be fine. And he's like, is that normal? Do your eyes pulse? I was like, no. Because I'm not going to tell my eyes pulse. I've never felt my eyes pulsating. He was like, my eyes feel like they're going to pop out of my head. I go, okay. I said, you'll be fine. Go get water. And then he was chilling. Another friend, that same night, 5'2", right? Small guy. Right? Never met him before. Right? He was one of my friend's friends, but I always played video games with him. And he's like, give me half. I give him half. He fucking... You missed somebody's bits? I'll read it in a minute. Jesus Christ, I'm telling a fucking story. And I fucking... I, like, leave, and I come back. And I'm like, where is he? Right? I'm not going to say his name. But I'm like, where is he? My friend... my friend goes, he's upstairs. I'm like, what do you mean he's upstairs? He's like, he's laying in my, he says the other friend's bed because we were at his house. I'm like, why is he laying in bed? He was like, he's fucking tweaking. I walk in and he's like this. And I go up to him. I'm like, are you good? And he goes, and waves me off. I'm like, do you need anything? He's like, bro, this is so strong. He ate like the equivalent of like half of a medical edible. He asked for it too. I always tell them, I'm like, I think you'll be fine. Right? And I thought he would, and he fucking weakened. Silver for 5. One time I did 9 double dipped tabs and I chewed my AirPod case so much it broke off. And at one point I couldn't tell if it was 5 little people or 1 big person. BQT for the 3. What do you mean? How come you don't put Pickle Rick on the chair anymore? Too much work. Fail for the sub. Floating for the 3. I never did heroin. So you've done everything else. Michael for the 3. Piece of wise words. Layla for the 10. I broke up with him. He said, bro, I know you be reposting Ellie Williams edits. Who is Ellie Williams? Michael for the 3. And I missed It's Kaz's bits. Can you dance? I'm not going to fucking dance. No. Me and my first girlfriend are best friends. I personally think it's the right person, wrong time, like she's my soulmate for real. So you think you'll end up dating her at some point in the future? Like again.
Also part of the
Daisy Showcase after this video.
Experience, completely selling that this is your reality. There's this thing called time distortion, meaning even though the effects only last 5 to 20 minutes, inside the experience it can feel like years. Hey, look at that tractor. Oh no, I can't move. Oh. What is going on? Oh, no, not the machine. Oh, not the box, not the... Is that the light of the day? Am I finally free? Oh, no. There's even reports of people having whole families in these experiences for years, and obviously when they come...
Oh, yeah, it's common. I was so confused what he was showing. It's common with Salvia for people to presume that they're like a household object. Like, they'll take the form of a chair. They won't, like, obviously sit like a chair, but they'll, like, in their mind, they're like a chair. Or like a table. They're like a solid, unmoving object that doesn't exist.
Come back from that, I'm sure it'll leave you a little bit questioning of if this is the real reality, which can create a ton of issues. That I'd imagine go a little like this.
Where's my family?
Huh?
I had a whole family. Where did they go? Is this real life?
But the entities are so-called people in these experiences. What are they, and how are they convincingly separate from you if it's all an experience that's happening in your own mind? Well, there was an actual scientific study that investigated contact and communication with these supposedly higher dimensional beings, and I'll cover that later in this, but that's the perfect segue to look at N-diethyltryptamine, often known as DMT, sometimes referred to as the spirit molecule. And
Bro,
yes,
the DMT, DMT is cool because it's even if you don't ever do DMT, you will likely trip on DMT when you die. If you don't get like shot in the head or run over by a car, if you like die in a hospital bed or have a heart attack, your brain's probably gonna release DMT in your head, dimethyltryptamine, and you like trip balls. That's why like when people come back from the dead and they like if you're brain dead, you never come back, right? But if your heart stops, you like die, and then people say they like saw heaven or like hell, or they saw like whatever religion or nothing. A lot of that usually has to do with the fact that you're likely fucking tripping or just hallucinating in some sort of like, brain factored area that you can't definitively prove that what you saw in that moment is true or not. That's why near-death experiences, NDEs, are so unreliable, because NDEs have proven every single religion that has ever existed. Because at one point or another, somebody has died, come back, and then said that their religion was right.
spirit as in ghosts, demons, and angels. I'll be referring to them as entities, so oftentimes...
What would you do if somebody redeemed end stream on a charity stream? If next week when I do the Trevor Project, somebody redeems it, I just won't do it. You have to redeem end stream on a important day,
Experience starts like this. Alright bro, all you need to do to meet the entities is take 3 hits.
Alright, that's easy enough. Let's do this.
Really? Yeah, I would just refund it. You can refund channel point redemptions.
One.
They wouldn't just lose the bet or the channel point.
Alright, second one.
And then a lot of people are like, "Oh, dude, this looks so sick. Oh, dude, oh my god, seeing waves and shit." Or like, whenever you see like realistic mushroom trip, I'm letting you know they are all not realistic. By the way, wait, hold up. I'll show the most realistic one I've ever seen: wood warping mushrooms. The most realistic video I've ever seen. Oh, that's not one. It was like a TikTok I saw. I'm going to Google it on TikTok. Oh, yeah, no, this looks realistic. More so. And maybe not that heavy, but like that. Where everything just breathes. But a lot of people are like, "Oh, that'd be so sick." Dude, it's in your eyes, though, right? A lot of people don't realize that, so they fucking freak out because they're like, "Oh, it'd be so cool to see shit." It's so cool to see shit through a screen. When the trippy shit is in your fucking head and everything you see is trippy and you can't turn it off, a lot of people freak out, which many of my friends have. Because it's just, there's nothing you can do. You're just locked in for the next 7 hours. I've never met somebody that said mushrooms to do this, though. This is, like, specifically DMT.
The experience lasts between 5 to 15 minutes and also has time distortion qualities as well. It usually starts off in a tunnel of indescribable patterns. With each hit, you get deeper into the experience, leading you to what they call the waiting room. Which, strangely enough, some people who abuse the substance get told by the entity, "Stop taking drugs." Yeah, not a chance. And then they proceed to do it again, and they get stopped by the gatekeeper that doesn't let them through. Isn't that kind of bizarre?
Here we go.
Stop, peasant. You have been abusing the sacred substance. You are no longer allowed in.
What?
But once you get past the waiting room and through the gate,
yo, stop!
They call this the breakthrough, which is where the insanity really takes place. The environment and entities in the space are often considered four-dimensional and sometimes reported to be of colors never witnessed before. People say it's beyond imagination and description.
It's also impossible to describe hallucination because hallucination is when you can't perceive things in your normal factory preset, right? So if you're tripping, you could say, oh, everything feels so warm and everything breathes and you just have a better meaning of life. Like, that just means jack shit to somebody that's never done it because at the end of the day, I'm not advocating for this, by the way. I'm just saying it's impossible to describe something that you've never experienced, right? Like, not something where it's like, oh, you've never been skydiving, let me explain it. Because the experience of skydiving encompasses all the perceptions that you actually currently have. But if you're trying to describe something through a lens of current preset factory, if you're trying to explain it, how do I explain this? See, it's impossible to describe, too. If you're trying to explain it with your current senses, it's impossible because the things that you experience in that mindset are not the norm. It's like describing color to a blind person. Yes. I would say it's a bit easier than that, though, because color to a blind person is just a sense that they don't even have.
There's many different kinds of entities reported. Some will make fun of you, such as the jesters. Then there's reports of doctor entities doing some type of astral surgery on them. I even heard of an entity special ops team coming to save someone, but they don't seem to save everyone since, although rare, there is reports of people being tortured in a purely cosmic horror type of fashion.
My first trip was horrific. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom kind of feel to it, and it ended with spiders eating my brain and soul.
I'd imagine it'd go a little...
I had a trip I got ripped apart alive like a meat grinder. Now I don't eat animal-based products because I don't support the way of farming souls for food is too inhumane. I was in one of the waiting room places and went into the realm of the blanded bird, Damon. It devoured me with bladed talons feasting on my soul. Dude, that is horrifying. I went to hell one trip, and by fuck, I don't want to go back there. Certain things trigger me now, and it wasn't lakes of fire and brimstone.
Like this.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yo, get him out of here.
What was that?
Okay, now that you experienced that, I'd like you to partake in this study.
So I have a personal story of an encounter with an entity myself that I'll share later in this, but that study I mentioned earlier has to be covered since it's the most insane, peer-reviewed study I've ever come across. The objective was to study the DMT entities, and so to start off, the main form of communication between the people and the entities was telepathic communication, which if you don't know what that is, it's communication by the mind.
Yeah, bro, the answer to the universe is...
You're trying to mess with me. Get out of my head. Get out of my head!
And to give a wider view of all the entities that traverse this realm.
Yo, Mush, thank you for the raid. Floating for the 3. I went through a phase where I decided I should do, like, too many drugs. I'm used as a trip sitter now. Or used as a trip sitter now. Kiki for the 3. So what you're saying is I should take every drug there is? No. Brainiac for the 3. I'm a daily weed smoker. I've done mushrooms about 10 times, but I've only had them solo. I will only do it again if it's with a friend. Spencer for the 2,000 biddies. Love your cousin. Have a great day. Silver for the 5. I would just say make sure it's somebody you want to be around. Setting and setting are the biggest things with that type of shit. But I would also say, you know, don't do illegal drugs in general. Spencer, thank you for the 50 fucking gifteds. Thank them if you gotta stop. Thank you for the fucking 50 gifted. Spencer Reed, or S. Spencer Reed, thank you for the fucking subs, bro. Dub in the chat for that. Appreciate the fucking sub, Spencer.
They have a list which, well, most
goddamn goat
of them are pretty friendly. You know, there's those odd chances you meet something like the devil, a demon, a monster, or possibly even a clown. And if that's not your cup of tea, the worst of them all is the gnome.
I'm a gnome, and you've been gnomed.
But the thing that I find very odd is the emotions the entities seem to have, which are usually of a benevolent nature, I should mention. But it's funny that one of them is surprise, since put yourself in their shoes, right? Let's just say you're going about your day and suddenly a two-dimensional being just pops into your existence. Wouldn't you be surprised as well?
Yo, what's up? Down here.
Yo, who are you? Wait, what are you? Now, this is the part that truly...
Oh my god, that is weird that they would experience... Like, you're experiencing something through a trip, so your brain's facilitating it, but the thing that you encounter is surprised to see you.
blows my mind, and probably the reason this is called the spirit molecule. According to the studies, most people would agree that it's more real than real life. And when asked where they believe the entities reside, it's mostly agreed to be in a different
completely within myself, 9%, 15 other, in some real but different dimension or reality. Both 1 and 2 in normal everyday physical reality.
dimension, that they continue to exist even after the experience. What a strange experience that was. Well, I guess it's time to take a rest today.
Hey bro, you asked me to get out of your head earlier, but you're also in mine, so what are we gonna do about that?
Jeez. Now this is where it gets truly freaky. The attributes of these entities are most entirely agreed to be conscious, self-aware, and intelligent. Now this is one that isn't widely agreed upon, but 54% of people agreed that the entities can affect our reality. But probably to a degree like this. When I go around that corner, I want to see a big fish. Ain't no way. I must be losing it. And lastly, there was some strange messages from the entities, such as the DMT realm is actually the after-death state, that everything is connected, and that the life we're in right now is a hallucination. And
that would be insane if we're tripping right now. Bro, I always think about if you die and you wake up and you're just in Rick and Morty's Blips and Chips and you take off a VR headset and it's like, oh, sick job, man. You made it to 87. And you're like, you take off the goggles, and the whole time you're just in a fucking VR verse. Your whole life, you've lived literally an entire life. It's like zoning out. What do you mean it's like zoning out? No, I think they're saying if this is like a DMT realm, it would basically be that we would re-enter the higher realm post-death. I don't know. I mean, that'd be cool. I would like if there was if there wasn't nothing after death, but that is currently what I would still say.
And that they're in the real reality. Also, some were told the day they were going to die. Yeah, bro.
That would be bad, dude. Oh my god.
You're gonna die in exactly 12,989 days. Wait.
Yo, that'd be great, though, if he was like, yo, you're gonna die in, like, 58 years. I'd be like, oh, so we're gonna be alive for a while. He's like, yeah. I'd be like, okay, that's fucking great, man. Thanks. Imagine, though, you're on a DMT trip, and he's like, you're going to die in, like, a day. I would be tweaking when I came back.
Wait, how? I already said too much.
Would y'all rather know when you die or how you die?
What?
I think people that say when, it's just a terrible answer. When just... Or how. How is a terrible answer. When is a better answer. How you die, if you know when you die, you're just going to live your regular life. If you know how you die, you're going to spend your whole life trying to prevent it, but it's still just going to happen anyway.
What?
And before we move on to my encounter, I'd like to mention DMT is in a lot of things. Plants.
When would freak me out, though? Yeah, but then it's like you have a definitive stop date. Like, and then you can just, you don't got to bug out until then.
Animals, fungi, and most importantly, you. Yes, you. It's in your body right now. Isn't that a little strange? Explain to me why you...
Wait, what is this next one?
I'd like to mention... Before we move on to my encounter, I'd like to mention DMT is in a lot of things. Plants, animals, fungi, and most importantly, you. Yes, you. It's in your body right now. Isn't that a little strange? Explain to me why you had the spirit molecule in you. Okay, I'm intrigued. Elaborate. Anyways, my story, and I'll tell you right now, this is as personal as it will get. So, I hit rock bottom at one point in my life. I wasn't eating, I was living in a windowless room with so much anxiety that I would avoid people by staying awake at night. I probably went 3 months without seeing sunlight, and I rarely talked to anyone, and was abusing whatever—
3 months without seeing sunlight? Holy shit.
Whatever drugs I could get a hold of.
How do you fucking make money?
Of. And to be quite frank with you, I was nearing the end of my life. And when you're at that point, you don't really care what you do with yourself. So I took 5 tabs of acid, which for those who don't know, they call this a heroic dose since you're either very brave or very stupid to take this. It's like learning how to swim by jumping in the middle of the ocean. And as I was hitting the peak of this experience, suddenly all I feel is this maternal love and comfort that I don't believe is humanly possible to achieve. I look at my tapestry, all the birds turn into feminine eyes, and the branches turn into something like the flying spaghetti monster. And then telepathically this entity tells me,
I'm Shakti, you're going to be alright, but you have to leave this place tonight.
So later on I proceeded to get in my car and left where I was living.
While you were tripping on acid? While you were tripping? Where you got in your car off 5 tabs of acid and then drove?
And I didn't go back. And yes, I'm doing significantly better nowadays. You know what makes
Wow, he gained so much weight.
car left where I was living and I didn't go back. And yes, I'm doing significantly better nowadays. You know what makes this experience even stranger is that Shakti is the Hindu goddess that is supposedly the mother of the universe, and before that experience I knew nothing of Hinduism. I grew up a Christian. And before we move on to the next one,
that is weird. What?
Is the Hindu goddess that is supposedly the mother of the universe, and before that experience I knew nothing.
You never knew about it? Dude, he had to have heard it though.
Hinduism. I grew up a Christian. And before we move on to the next one, I had to say this. This isn't meant to create any religious arguments, it's just an experience I had, which just to let you know, religious figures from all religions have been encountered on these substances, so let's not have this battle since it's very possible the truth might be a wider thing than we even know about.
Alright, what's your religion?
Oh, I'm an atheist.
Oh, you weren't even supposed to get this far. Don't worry, we'll
Dude, I always wonder if gods are just like, higher beings from other higher dimensions than ours, and they just come to our dimension to kind of like either help us or fuck with us, and then get us to praise them, and then they just go back to their regular dimension for a bit. Like they come down and they're like, yo, what's up? I'm God. And then everybody's like, what? And then that's why there's so many of them, because they would just be like a higher dimensional being. Alex for the sub.
send you to limbo.
But hear me out. Now we have.
I think it's like a pyramid scheme. You think higher dimensional beings are scamming you?
5-methoxy-NN dimethyltryptamine, often referred to
the toad venom
as the God molecule. Well, it is a version of DMT. It's significantly stronger, and it's also found naturally in the human body. But the way it's created is very disturbing. It secretes from a specific type of toad when it's stressed or in a dangerous situation. Meaning some people will capture and torture these poor toads to get it, even when it's not necessary since it can be made in the lab.
Dude, it's fucking gross. They'll tie the toad up and then poke it with a stick until it starts squirting out this white substance, and they scrape it off its body into a jar and then smoke it. Alex, thank you for the 5 gifted subs! Thank them if you're going to sub, and thank you for the 5 gifted. I always wonder who did that first. Like, who was the first motherfucker to go, yeah, I'm going to grab this toad venom, and I'm going to just smoke that bitch, knowing that it's toxic.
Lab, which I can only imagine it to go like this a little bit.
Come on, do something.
Hey there, bud.
You will understand soon.
So from the reports, the overarching theme is that you die, but not in the traditional sense, more so in the sense that you lose your sense of self, often called ego death, but to the extent that you never even existed in the first place. But there's a reason for that. In order to become one with everything, you must first become nothing, which is pretty much the concept of non-duality. But once you become nothing, it's reported you become one with this all-encompassing light that gives an endless feeling of love, compassion, forgiveness, joy, and peace. Often viewed as God, hence the name, the God molecule. What's going on? What's happening? Oh no!
Yo, I always I dissociate a lot. I think it's in part just from philosophical thinking, but also weed and a bunch of other shit. But I'll watch my own videos, and bro, sometimes like I literally can't recognize that it's me. It's so weird. Like, I know it's me, but you ever look in a mirror? I do it all the time. You ever look in a mirror and you're like staring at yourself and you're like, fuck, man, like this is my body. Like, I have a human body. It sounds so dumb. It sounds like such a stoner thing to say. But it's like, oh, I have a body. Because you're just like, I'm a perceiver, right? I'm looking at myself in the mirror. Not in the mirror. I'm looking at myself in the monitor right now. And like a chat in general and shit. And I'm looking at my own body and it's like, yeah, okay, it's normal. But how you perceive me is in a physical sense. How I perceive myself is in a not necessarily spiritual sense, but a conscious, non-physical form, right? Like, how you perceive yourself is some people physical. I wouldn't say, I don't want to be rude, but I think if you only perceive yourself in a physical sense, I would say you're an NPC. But for the most part, you're just a conscious being that thinks in their own head, right? And so it's weird to perceive yourself as a physical being when you, in your whole mind, are not physical, right, in any way whatsoever. But what really trips me out too is how when I started doing that more and more, when I look at people now, I try to perceive their non-physical form. And it's impossible, but I'll look at someone, like when I look at Brooke, my girlfriend, I will try to perceive her consciousness to where I'm not looking at her, I'm looking at who she is inside of her brain, right? And it's always, the way I perceive it is always like, it's so weird. It's always like a morphing ball of energy is the way it always pops into my head. Is like who they are, right? Not actually a physical person, right? Max for the 3. What's your craziest weed experience? I always say the time that I took a bunch of edible. I mean, the craziest weed experience was probably the first time I ever got high, when I ate edibles. I ate too many, and I watched the Lorax, and I started tripping, and I thought I was in purgatory. Not like actually tripping, but like tripping in the sense of like I was fucking tweaking. Like I was freaking out. And I mean, edibles can be hallucinogenic if you take them in high dosages. It wasn't for me. I'd never been high before, so I didn't know what it was like. And that's always the first fucking experience everybody ever has when they get high or just does anything. You always take it and you're like, I don't feel anything. But you do, and you just don't recognize it, and then you take too much, and then you fucking freak out. But, I mean, a more interesting one, I've already told it before. Phase for the sub. It was me and Brooke, we were watching scary movies, and it was like slasher films. It was around Halloween. And I ate like 2 edibles. And normally I'll eat like 1.5. But I was like, fuck it. I'm eating 2. And probably an hour in, she like pauses the film, like right when they were watching like a horror film. And she's like doing something. We're just having a conversation. And I couldn't stop thinking that I was in a horror film and I was going to be the person that was next, right? Like that the monster that was in the film that we were watching was going to be outside and come and kill me. And my whole life was me leading up to just be killed in a slasher film. And I believed it for about like 10 minutes. Not really. I mean, like I'll have like crazy ass thoughts on like on shit, bro. But like I always know that it's like, you know, it's you're just bugging, right? You're just tripping out. It's never something where you gotta fucking actually like, oh my god, I need to defend myself. The people that do that don't recognize the difference between hallucination and reality. Phase for the sub. Did you tell her that? I did say, I was like, damn, what if we're in a horror movie right now?
Something awfully strange about this is the fact that...
What movie was it? I think it was one of the Jason films. It was either it might have been Scream. It might have just been like a Scream movie, honestly.
People who have had...
I don't remember. It was just a common slasher. Michael Myers, Scream. It was one of those fucking the trios.
Near-death experiences report this substance to be extremely similar, so much to the point that there was a study on it, finding it to be widely agreed to be comparable.
Have you done other drugs than weed? Me no now.
I just met God.
Sir, your heart has been stopped for the last 5 minutes. I need you to shut up.
But speaking of something strange, we have diphenhydramine, also known as Benadryl. Well, it's normally used as an allergy
Bro, people that take Benadryl to get high are fucking crazy.
medication. On high doses, it becomes scarier than your worst nightmare. And even with that...
When they see the fucking Hat Man, that's what he's gonna get into. Where they all experience a fucking Grim Reaper that wants to kill them. Cause you're dying. Cause you're ODing on Benadryl.
What makes it so scary? Well, let's start off with what you might see. A common report is spiders crawling out of everything, and I mean everything. The walls, the floors, your mouth, and sometimes you can feel them
I
inside.
used to take Benadryl to sleep for months. That's different than when people take Benadryl to trip. They take like 30.
Of you. Yo, what is happening? Yo, I feel something in my mouth. Oh no. But hey, it's not always spiders. Sometimes it's rats, or even worse, the Hat Man and the Shadow People who radiate dread, uneasiness, evil, and malevolent vibes, which creepily enough has been reported all around the world. So with that study we looked at earlier, who really knows what these things are? What am I hearing? Hey, I see you.
It's me, Mario.
But the worst is still to come. You can also see hallucinations of people you know, and they'll talk to you, or maybe they'll be tortured. I
would hate that, dude. I would fucking hate that.
read one report that went a little
be tortured. You would witness previous loved ones get fucking tortured.
like this.
This is your fault.
And to top it all off, it can come with confusion and leading you to forgetting you even took anything. So this seems like real life. Your body also feels very heavy, making it hard to walk properly. But a bit messed up and goofy report I saw went a little like this. Back demon, hiya! In reality, back demon, hiya! Understand, all these are from personal reports and studies, and some of these substances can give you physical and mental issues as
yeah, a lot of them can. A lot of the ones that he went over can. Fucking Benadryl, dude, especially. Imagine a dude doing drugs only to have hallucinations encourage him to leave drugs and detrimental habits is oddly wholesome. Be it a supernatural being that cares about you, or your sense of self telling it's the best possible way that what you're doing is harming you. That is actually cool. All right. Next! We still have fucking 4 more videos, dude. Jesus. Actually, let's watch this first. The bizarre death of the peanut butter jelly time singer. Phase for the sub. Lock in. Oh, I gotta do Daisy Showcase. Fuck. Alright, hold up. Count me down. Alright. Please for the sub. Lock in here, chat. Next video. The bizarre death of the peanut butter jelly time singer. These last 19 months of being a sub was great. One of the best streamers on Twitch for real face. Thank you for the 300 biddies, Brian. The nice message. Lock in.
In late 2001, a song was released called Peanut Butter and Jelly by the musical
Peanut Butter Jelly Time
duo The Buckwheat Boys and the producer Chip Man. In 2002, the song took the internet by storm. Perhaps it provided the comfort people needed in a post-9/11 world. The song's popularity came from a viral video of a flash-animated banana dancing to it. And
what is the actual song like, though? Is it just that repeated for like 2 minutes straight?
I sincerely apologize if you've spent the last 22 years trying to get that song out of your head. But you probably don't know that it was actually a nuanced political commentary on the military-industrial complex. With the
What? Peanut butter jelly time was a political point. Lust for the sub.
Peanut butter symbolizing the U.S. government, and the jelly being Lockheed Martin. I'm kidding. The song was pretty much meaningless. But it has maintained a strong legacy over the years, appearing on Family Guy, being featured in several ad campaigns, and now even influencing a skin in Fortnite. Unfortunately,
Did the peanut butter jelly time banana influence the Fortnite banana skin? I don't know. I don't know if those two are correlated.
Peanut butter and jelly in question comes with a glass of deeply depressing milk. And that's because in late 2002, the singer of Peanut Butter and Jelly died in a police standoff.
What?
The Buckwheat Boys originally consisted of Jermaine Fuller and Marcus Bowens, with 2 other members later being added. Here's a picture of the 2 founding members, and here's a picture of Jermaine Fuller, the subject of our story. And I'm sorry that these are some of the lowest quality images you've ever laid eyes on, but I guess the song wasn't called Peanut Butter and High Definition Cameras.
Y'all ain't know this. What do you mean y'all ain't know this? Like, this is just common knowledge that the peanut butter jelly time singer, Jermaine something, died in a police standoff in 2002. Who the fuck knows that? It is common knowledge. Chat, I don't think I have talked about the peanut butter jelly time song on this stream ever in 4 years. I don't think I've talked about the peanut butter jelly time song in maybe a decade, right? When I was probably in middle school is the last time I thought about the peanut butter jelly time song. Maybe elementary school, dude. Let alone it being common knowledge that the guy who sung it died in a police standoff.
Our story starts on a warm August night in Las Vegas, when a man flagged down a police officer to tell him that he had just been confronted by another man wielding a gun. The gun wielder was Jermaine Fuller, who had fired a shot at the guy but missed. Based on the description of Fuller, another police officer recognized him at a bus stop and got out of his car to talk to him. But Jermaine Fuller whipped out his gun and shot the officer in the head and chest.
What?
Thankfully, the first bullet only grazed the side of the cop's head, while the other one hit him in a bulletproof vest, rendering the officer virtually unharmed. Meanwhile, another police officer pulled up to the scene only for Fuller to shoot at him as well. This time, the bullet went through the car's windshield
He didn't fucking get up and leave. He just sat at the bus
and
stop.
across the officer's shoulder, reportedly shredding the fabric on the cop's uniform, but leaving him untouched. So, with all 3 people he fired at being completely fine, it's safe to say that Jermaine Fuller wasn't exactly a sharp shooter. I guess they were right when they said he was a one-hit wonder.
This guy's got some jokes. This guy's got some jokes. I like this guy.
Anyway, Jermaine Fuller then
He's a one-hit wonder. Yeah, because you can't hit anything.
made his way over to an apartment complex near the campus of the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. He forced his way into an apartment and took the 2 men living there hostage. And I can
didn't just go back to his house.
only assume it was an extremely traumatizing experience for the 2 hostages, although probably not as traumatizing as attending UNLV. Once the cops realized where Fuller was, they evacuated the entire complex and sent in a SWAT team. And I'm sure everyone living there was thrilled about having to get out of bed in the middle of the night on a Monday because the singer of Peanut Butter Jelly Time was holding their neighbors at gunpoint. And this was when...
Yo, did y'all see Justin Timberlake got a DUI? That was like 3 days ago. Hold up. When? I don't know. Somebody on the news reported it. Which is weird, because they would never normally talk about a DUI unless it's a fucking famous person. He got a DWI, not a DUI. Driving while intoxicated. In the Hamptons. He said he had 1 martini. I mean, how drunk do you think he was off 1 martini? I mean, you probably could get a DUI off that. It's just whether or not he was lying or, like, he was at, like, 0.08. And they were just like, yeah, DWI. I don't know. Travis got arrested in Miami?
The standoff began.
For what?
The police surrounded the apartment, but...
People saying Travis got arrested for what? A DWI as well? He got arrested for disorderly intoxication. That is hard. That means he was, like, rowdy, right? He got arrested at 1:44 in the morning for being too drunk and trespassing. Bro, you know how drunk you have to be to get arrested for being drunk? Like, you have to be walking around, like, fucking screaming at people. Like that's, you have to be like, oh, fuck you, dude. Just, like, walking around in the middle of the night. Just fucking, and trespassing. Yeah, but realistically, you just fucking walk away. Oh, he just said he wouldn't yell. He wouldn't leave. He was yelling obscenities when they told him to leave. Meh, whatever. Just being drunk, getting in problems. Lust for the sub.
Fuller refused to exit peacefully. After about an hour, the 2 hostages managed to escape by diving out a window. Although they were on the 1st floor, so let's not give them too much credit here. Even with the hostages being gone, the police still couldn't enter the apartment because Fuller was in there firing shots. He even moved furniture to barricade himself inside.
Wow.
A police negotiator tried convincing...
You know what I don't get, though? Is, like, if you're in a police standoff, what's the plan? You know? Like, is it that you're just gonna barricade yourself in there for the rest of your life? I wonder what his issue was that caused this. I don't know, but I'm saying, like, if you hold somebody hostage in, like, a bank robbery, you're just trying to get money and then leave. But if you're, like, you shot a police officer and now you're held up in a fucking building, it's like you're too far in to where, like, okay, now you're not going to be able to get away.
Him to surrender, but it wasn't working. As strange as this whole thing might seem, it hasn't even reached its weirdest moment. At some point during the standoff, Jermaine Fuller contacted a local TV news station, perhaps assuming that his story was receiving coverage. But consider—
Oh my god, don't tell me it wasn't. Yo, ABC News, you got me on the air, right? No, who is this? Jermaine. Jermaine who? From Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Yeah, the song? What song? With the banana. Oh, the banana. What happened? They're holding me hostage. Well, actually, I was holding somebody hostage. Okay, well.
Considering this was in Vegas, it probably wasn't even in the top 10 most interesting things happening at that moment. Still, he told the TV station that he had a famous relative who he wanted to talk to. That relative was his brother-in-law, Calvin Brodus, also known as Snoop Dogg.
His relative is Snoop Dogg's name is Calvin Brodus. Bro, I'm always, like, astonished when it's always with rappers because they always have the nicknames. But it's like, what's, like, Lil Uzi's real name? Samir Woods. It's like another rapper. Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's real name, though, is Dwayne Carter. Like, that's not that shocking. Some actors, though, like Vin Diesel, real name is Mark Sinclair. We've talked about that. Like, a lot of actors change their name legally to something that's a better stage name. Actors that changed their names. Kirk Douglas. Dove Cameron used to be Chloe Hoffman. See, what the fuck made her change her name to Dove Cameron when her real name was Chloe Hoffman? John Legend's real name was John Stevens. See, that's not that big of a change, though. Nicki Minaj, but hers was just Onika Minaj. Charlie Sheen used to be Carlos Estevez. Carlos Estevez. Like, how are they coming up with these names? And that's just what I don't get. Miley Cyrus. What was her actual name? Miley Cyrus's real name is Destiny Hope. Or it was. She changed it. Miley Cyrus used to be named Destiny Hope. What? Like, that's what I just don't get. Bruno Mars. Peter Hernandez. Where are we getting these name changes from? Where are we getting these name changes from? Bruno Mars used to be known as... Bruno Mars' real name is Peter Hernandez. Where is Bruno Mars? Dude, Travis Scott? What? Professionally known as Travis Scott. He is legally known as... How do you say this? Jaquez? Jacque. How do you say that? How do you say that? Jacqueus. Jacque. How do you say that? Jock? That would just be Jock. Jock Berman Webster II. Where's Travis and Scott come from? What's Post Malone's real name? Austin Richard Post. That's not like, that doesn't surprise me because Post is in his name. When it's like Snoop Dogg, yeah, no shit, he wouldn't be fucking named Snoop Dogg. But it's like Peter Hernandez, Bruno Mars, was for the sub. Where the fuck is that coming from?
Snoop Dogg. That's right, Snoop's wife Shantae is Jermaine Fuller's sister. And Jermaine decided to turn to Snoop in his darkest hour, like so many of us have. And the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department decided to roll with it. They reached out to the LAPD and requested help with this odd situation. So in the middle
of... What the fuck is Snoop Dogg gonna do for him? Yo, man, I'm in a police standoff in Vegas. All right. What do you want me to do about it?
Of the night, the LAPD sent someone to Snoop Dogg's house to ask for his assistance. And Snoop was reportedly very willing to help, presumably after he had finished frantically hiding several ounces of weed. The LAPD put Snoop in touch with the police negotiator, who asked Mr. Dogg to record a message urging his brother-in-law to surrender. Snoop did exactly that, reportedly telling Jermaine Fuller, "Do what they say. We've got lawyers to take care of this. We'll take care of it."
Could a lawyer get you out of a police standoff where you tried to fucking shoot 4 cops? I don't know. I don't know if a lawyer, like, I don't know if J-Oma could get you out of that. I think J-Oma could get people out of a lot of things. I don't know about shooting 4 police officers, holding two people hostage, and then getting in a police standoff. J-Oma could do it. J-Oma films a video the next day. He's like, so what were you getting accused of? Attempted murder against 4 officers. Burglary, breaking and entering, holding 2 people hostage, and doing a police standoff, and having a gun that was unregistered. And what did you end up getting charged with? Nothing. He got people out of sexual assault cases and worse. Yeah. But J-Oma getting one guy out of 1 sexual assault case is easier for him than getting a dude out of holding 2 people hostage, trying to kill 4 cops, and then breaking into somebody's house and fucking standing off and getting a SWAT team to come. Like, they're too, like, I understand JAMA can get people out of things, but it's probably easier for JAMA to get people out of sexual assault allegations than you actually holding people hostage.
And the police...
Allegedly. I love how they say that, too. JAMA will be interviewing them. He's like, what did you get accused of? Well, allegedly. I rubbed my whole body with Nutella and ran naked through a public park. And what did you get charged with? Stealing the Nutella. That's it, though.
Did manage to get the tape to Fuller, but unfortunately it...
Innocent until proven guilty? Well, yeah. No, I agree with that. I believe that is just the right that every citizen should have.
Wasn't enough to convince him to surrender.
And I will say, I think there are situations where people aren't, where people are guilty until proven innocent, which I think is the reverse of what it should be. But, I mean, it really depends on the situation.
Although I don't know
what
he expected the tape to say. Maybe he thought Snoop would tell him to sneak out the air vent or something. Around 10 a.m.
Snoop Dogg, he's like, record a message for me. He goes, okay. Okay, based on the diameter of that vent, I think your body's going to be able to fit through it. If you're able to hold them off for 2 days and maybe find some laxatives, maybe lose 3 to 4 pounds, 4.7 pounds, you'll be able to fit through that vent. When you crawl through that vent, I'm going to make a noise distraction to where they think you're still in there. Then you're going to crawl out of that vent, you're going to get out of there, and I'm going to have a helicopter waiting for you 4 miles away. You're going to have to hike through the woods. But once you get there, we're going to take you to Argentina.
The SWAT team entered the apartment with tear gas and flashbangs, only to find Jermaine Fuller dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And I'm sure the residents of that apartment were thrilled to be let back in after they had been held at gunpoint, escaped...
Stark for the 3. Dove Cameron changed her name because her dad committed when she was 15 and he would call her Dove. That is so sad. That is so sad. Oh my god. See, like, that's like a reasonable... That makes sense. Oh my god.
Through a window, had their walls shot up, had their furniture used as a barricade, and then had someone shoot themselves inside the apartment.
Wait, what? He killed himself?
He thought Snoop would tell him to sneak out the air vent or something. Around 10 a.m., the SWAT team entered the apartment with tear gas and flashbangs, only to find Jermaine Fuller dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. And I'm sure the residents of that apartment were thrilled to be let back in after they had been held at gunpoint, escaped through a window, had their walls shot up, had their furniture used as a barricade, and then had someone shoot themselves inside the apartment. Not to mention that they were still students of UNLV. The sad passing of Jermaine Fuller also marked the end of the Buckwheat Boys, who split up instead of carrying on without their bandmate. Truly the Led Zeppelin of their time. There's very little information about the other members, but the archive of their now extinct MySpace page reveals what happened to them. According to the bio, the band's co-founder Marcus Bowens, quote, found God, turning into one of Gumbo, Alabama's most respected gospel artists. As nice as that sounds.
Gumbo, Alabama. Gumbo, Alabama. Dude, that's not... I mean, that's like an accurate what happened. One of Gumbo, Alabama's most respected gospel artists. Not the most respected. How many respected gospel artists are in Gumbo, Alabama?
I can't find any record of Gumbo.
Is that like a hard fucking workspace to get into? Is that like you got to wedge yourself in there? You got to fight up the corporate ladder to be on the top of Gumbo, Alabama's gospel artistry?
Gumbo, Alabama being a real place. So maybe he found...
What is their population? Let's take our guesses. Gumbo, Alabama, pop. I'm going to guess like 10K. Is that even a real place? Gumbo, Alabama. Is that not a real place? Gumbo, Alabama is not a real fucking city. Gumbo, Alabama city. Is Gumbo, Alabama a city? Oh my God. What is this? No, this is a fucking business named Gumbo. Gulf United Metro Business Organization. Why would you name your fucking business acronyms to spell out Gumbo? Floating for the 3. It says Meowkle Sarah. Why are you meowing and saying Michael Sarah? Star for the 3. I already read that.
Found God in an alternate dimension. Dougie Williams, the drummer of the band, quote, turned his pain inward and took it out upon himself. His lust for women and drugs grew threatening to his health, and on November 14th, 2003, was admitted to a shelter for drug offenders. Jeez, I guess it wasn't always peanut butter jelly time for these guys. But to end on a nice note, the MySpace page said that the keyboardist J.J. O'Neill pursued his dream for music stardom and found his way on stage. JJ is now headlining his local theater's rendition of Cats.
His local theaters and he only plays Cats? Like, he doesn't, like, there's no other plays that he does, it's just only Cats?
O'Neill pursued his dream for music stardom and found his way on stage. JJ is now headlining his local theater's rendition of Cats. Ah, the paths of life. They may be windy, but they always guide us forward. May we all end up in the places we most belong. May we all one day find our local theater's rendition of Cats.
Or go to Gumbo, Alabama and see one of the most respected gospel artists. All right, let me actually listen to what other songs the Buckwheat Boys have come out with. They came out with one called Ice Cream and Cake. Sorry, VOD viewers. It's literally just, it's just the same beat as Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Bro, I really don't think that's a good song at all. But, like, if I'm being real, that's, like, a horrible song. It's, like, a meme thing. It's, like, Nyan Cat. Oh, my God. Y'all remember this? You think anybody has ever died to Nyan Cat? What a bad song. What's like the worst? That's probably like one of the worst songs you could die to. Is Nyan Cat's theme song? Definitely. I would rather die to like WAP than Nyan Cat's theme song. Tomorrow Teaching dropped a new video. We already watched their newest one, unless they dropped another one just now. I'm not going to watch that, though. We still have other videos we got to watch today. I'll still look if they uploaded, though. No, they didn't. All right, next. The nerd who beat Vegas roulette with science. Lock in.
It's 1978 and two young...
It's 1978. Two blokes walk into a bar, and they determine that they're going to rig the local casino. They've determined the best odds they have is to just place a bet on every single number on the roulette table. Surely they can't lose.
It's 1978 and two young men wearing white shirts walk into a Las Vegas casino.
They've recognized that if they just bet black, they'll win it all. All they have to do is go to the roulette table and put it all on red and let it ride.
Is simple, and roulette
It's that simple.
is the most popular casino game.
Everybody thinks it's completely random, it's an unbeatable game.
However, these two nerds are using science to challenge the status quo.
If you go to a roulette table, and this is my honest take, depends how long they've been in it. Talk to the roulette guy. Say how long you been at working at a casino. If he says like 25 years, tip that man a hundo. Tip that man a hundo. And then he will land it on what number you want. Not a guarantee that you could prove it, but if you got to think, chat. If you're spinning a roulette wheel every day for your whole life, at some point, you would probably get good enough, not to where you'd be able to land it on one number, but a set of 3. So say you bet all on 18 and he spins it, he'll probably be able to land it within a 3-number gap if he wanted to.
And everything we know about roulette is bound by the laws of physics.
It's a true story like no other. A story that started on a college campus a few years before. 2 students are preparing to study physics at the University of California.
It's not illegal to do this, though. Like, I'm assuming whatever they come up with, it's not... Like, you can go, like, counting... A lot of people... Cheating in blackjack, or to where, like, you'll be able to see the cards, or you have, like, somebody on the outside that's telling you, that's not allowed. They'll probably kick you out for sure. I mean, I don't know the legality on that. But in a casino, counting cards isn't illegal. Right, a lot of people presume that like counting cards when you get kicked out of something, you're allowed to count cards. You're just not allowed to get caught. Right? Counting cards isn't. You're not going to get arrested for counting cards at a casino. You're just doing something that's readily available to you. When people say they count cards, though, like I remember I was sitting at a table and one guy was like, "I know how to count cards," and I went, "Okay, buddy, this is a 6-stack shoe on an auto shuffle. Try and figure that one out, jackass." Counting cards is fucking useless if it's like more than 3 decks of cards. Like if you're counting cards on a 6-stack shoe with 7 players at the fucking table or 5 players at the fucking table, that is doing absolutely nothing for you. You might be able to weigh the cards out, but the odds aren't as in your favor as you would think they are. And counting cards also doesn't increase your odds of winning that much. How does counting cards work? You basically assign a numerical value, either -1, I think it's -1, 0, or 1, to specific cards. I don't know if it's 0. It might just be 1 or -1. And so when certain cards come out, you kind of add them in, and based on the weight of what number that is currently in your head. So say like multiple aces and kings come out. That's going to lower... I think it lowers it a lot. It's either it lowers it or raises it. I don't know. But basically, they're counting all the cards that come out, and high cards have one value and low cards have another. And if the number in their head is really high or really low, that changes whether or not they're going to bet, because the statistical chance that those cards will come out is less because they've already come out. Like, if you're playing a 3-deck shoe and you see... You don't even need... It's not even necessarily counting cards. Say they just shuffle the deck. And 4 hands in a row, you see a majority of face cards. That means that the odds that the face card is going to be in the next hand is low, because you've seen that many come out, so there's a lesser chance that comes out. When you watch the Hangover movie and Zach Galifianakis is going, and there's like mathematical numbers and equations going through his head, that's not fucking counting cards. Counting cards is +1, -1, +1, -1, -1, -1, +1, +1. The hard thing about counting cards is doing it when 5 people are playing and to look like you're not counting cards. Because if you're sitting at a casino and you're going 1, 1, -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6. They're gonna know you're fucking counting cards. So you're trying to maintain a conversation with people. You're trying to look normal, and you're trying to keep track of every single person's cards that are coming out and remember that number. Xerxes for the sub. Oxalotl for the sub. But the way they get out of that is they just keep adding decks, and then it just fucking makes it impossible.
In their spare time, like many
Why are people typing exclamation point blah?
other kids of their age, they're interested in art, music, literature and free love. It's the era of experimentation. But one of them is experimenting with something a little different. He's interested in casino games, in particular beating roulette. He's got dreams to be a world-renowned physicist one day. So at first, it's not about money. His line of thinking is simple. Roulette's inputs are fixed, so the outcome can't be random. It will be a lot of work, but solving roulette will boost his chances of reaching his dream. To do it though, he'll need help, so he entrusts his closest physics friend with his plans. At first, he's apprehensive, although after several deep discussions and the possibility of making millions, he's on board. The only question is, can science really beat Las Vegas roulette? To find out, they need to study and measure the game's fixed variables inside a Vegas casino. The roulette wheel's dimensions, the ball speed...
Well, and this isn't an American roulette wheel. I think this is a European roulette wheel. The American roulette wheel, they add another green 0. The reason they add the zeros is because that decreases your odds of winning. And it gives it towards the casino. Because you only could bet... I mean, you could bet outside or inside, but you bet red, black, green, or you could bet on numbers, thirds, halves, shit like that, right? The issue is once they add the green numbers, your odds of winning are now fucked. If they didn't have green numbers in roulette, the casino wouldn't ever offer roulette because they wouldn't make money. Because it would be a 50-50 shot that you win every time. And obviously with people gambling, they're more likely to lose money because they have the capacity to have to stop. Right, comparable to a casino. But still, they just add those, and then your odds of winning go from like 50% to like 48. My friend just messaged me. Sadie McKenna is single. Think you could finally throw the oop to me? No.
and the wheel's rotation.
Optimus for the 3. OG Ford season's coming back. There was a leaked picture of the Pirates of the Caribbean that's getting an event pass. When? Next season? Mr. Xanthus for the 3. Watch the stream at work on the ordering iPad. Got my salary cut. This is all I have left of it. Well, thank you for the 3. But don't feel as if you need to send me money, man.
Are the first variables of interest. They're aware that the casinos might not like this science experiment.
Does your friend still ask about overtime Megan a lot? No, that's the same friend. That's the same friend.
So they wear baggy, long-sleeve shirts. They're aware that the casinos might not like this science experiment, so they wear baggy, long-sleeve shirts on their first visit.
Wait, what is their fucking science experiment?
Variables inside a Vegas casino. Okay. The roulette wheel's dimensions, the ball speed, and the wheel's rotation are the first variables of interest. They're aware that the casinos might not like this science experiment, so they wear baggy, long-sleeve shirts on their first visit to conceal a dictaphone discreetly held around the wrist. This first visit...
I have an idea here. Ball speed, roulette spin, all of those things change. But if they come up with an accurate method of graphing that, in roulette, you're allowed to bet after the number has already been spun. At most casinos, they will spin the ball, and then you can place a bet still for like a few seconds. I think it's until after it spins around a certain amount of times. And if they factor that in, they could know the ball speed and then place their bet where they think it'll win.
Visit is all about collecting roulette data and understanding how casinos operate.
But they would be able to figure out the data on where the ball started, how fast the ball's going, and how counterclockwise it's spinning, and then they would be able to put it on what number. That is insane if they could fucking figure that out.
Quickly, they learned that Vegas casinos use BC wheels regulation roulette wheels. Roulette is one of the most popular games in casinos because it's so simple. Gamblers can bet on red, black, or numbers 1 to 36 when a ball is spun around the wheel. The house edge on an American roulette wheel...
Bro, you realize though, like going to a casino games fucking suck unless there's money involved. Like, it's not like a fun game like watching a football game and then also betting on it. Like, playing roulette, if nothing's on the line, is actually so fucking stupid. Like, what is the point of playing roulette if you're not... You're just being like, oh, I think it'll land on 7. Oh, it didn't. Oh, shucks. right? Like there's no wager, so there's no point in doing it.
Which contains a 00, is 5.26%. It's a key piece to the puzzle because whatever casino they visit, they know the wheels will be identical. However, with different croupiers in different spins each time, they need to find an accurate way of tracking the wheel's speed. This is where the dictaphone comes in. By tapping an index finger on the recording mechanism, each time the wheel spins past a fixed point in the room, they're able to quantify its spin speed. Wow. Similarly, when the ball spins around the roulette wheel, they'll do exactly the same. Suddenly, they now have two data sets for both ball speed and wheel speed. Better still, they can measure how the wheel's speed decreases over additional rotations.
How can you get addicted to gambling? Gambling is one of the only ways you can make money from money, and so it's an enticing means of financial gain, but it's unlikely that you'll win in casino gambling. Sports gambling is a whole different story, but casino gambling, you could get really addicted just because it's like the feeling of winning is better than the shitty feeling of losing. Like if I go to a casino, I wouldn't say I'm addicted to gambling. I haven't been in a while, but the feeling of going to a casino and winning $500 is so much better than the feeling of losing $500. Like, if I go to a casino and I win $1,000 and then lose $1,000, I will still feel like I've profited in an experience because there was a moment where I had won money for basically doing nothing. No fucking shit. No fucking shit, Joe. Shut the fuck up, Reese Roth. This kid asked me, how do people get addicted to gambling? I answered his fucking question, you dipshit.
And just maybe where the ball will eventually land. Roulette is becoming more predictable by the second. But these early stages are full of obstacles.
I don't play roulette tables that have these fucking things. If a roulette table has these weird notches, I don't play it.
By the second. But these early stages are full of obstacles, from hiding the equipment to tapping the microphone at the wrong time. In practice, it's awkward.
Why? It just fucks up the ball. It annoys me.
And complicated.
Because it could be spinning and then just randomly halt and fucking fall.
However, the theory is sound. By mapping out all of Roulette's inputs and testing them over a large enough sample, repeat patterns start to emerge. Patterns that weren't obvious to the naked eye. Quickly, it becomes clear that two inputs are by far the most influential. Where the ball leaves the roulette wheels out of track, and the wheel's position of rotation as that happens. At this stage, they realise if the inputs are accurate, they can identify a section of 5 numbers where the ball will land. Now, it won't guarantee the exact number each time, but it will give them a massive advantage.
Well, and they just bet all 5 numbers. They just bet all 5 numbers, it hits, they still profit.
If their math is right, they're 7 times more likely to select the correct number. But to record the relevant information in a casino and then act upon it in a matter of seconds...
Yo, you think this shit still works? You think they got a graph up that I could pull and bring to a casino?
...is no small task. A task that's made more difficult by their already inadequate financial situation. Getting this wrong will see them go bust very quickly. They need to be absolutely certain. They need to source their own BC Wheels roulette wheel so they can carry out further tests and refine the data. Fortunately, Las Vegas roulette wheels are manufactured by a small independent supplier, Paul's Gaming Devices. Finding a BC Wheels roulette wheel is easier than they thought. Immediately, they get one shipped to their dorm room at the University of California. The plan is to fit the roulette wheel with a series of triggers and recording mechanisms using sound and photography so they can record exactly where the ball is and where the ball lands over a series of thousands of spins. But there's a problem. The Port of Oakland have prohibited shipping for the roulette wheel. It's being held temporarily at the container facility and further information has been requested by the shipping company. Doyne immediately jumps in the car and makes the 3-hour drive. On arrival, he's...
3-hour drive? I just wait for that bitch to show up. Ginger and Light for the sub. Optimus for 3. It looks like it's coming in July, so this season, it's also looks like FNAF is getting a collab. FNAF is getting a collab with Fortnite.
Greeted with an extremely awkward situation. 2 FBI officers have the crate and they want to know...
Oh shit, chat. I gotta pose. 1 or 2. I fucking forgot. Seen a lot of 2s. Hold up. Posting. What is this for, TikTok? All right, lock back in. Lock back in, chat. We did watch this like a month ago. Never watched this. We never watched this. Pull up the VOD where we watched it, and I'll give you fucking $10, dude. Never watched it. Never seen this video.
Why he's shipping a Vegas roulette wheel across the country. Clearly, they think he's operating an illegal gambling operation. At the time, there are significant restrictions pertaining to interstate gambling. Why are you shipping casino equipment? What are you planning to do with it? You know gambling's illegal, right? Their questions are relentless, but after a couple of hours, the very anxious physics student is free to leave. It appears the FBI have bought into his cover story. He's told them that it's an antique collector's item that won't be used for gambling. Later that night, he sets up the roulette wheel in his dorm room. Now they're getting somewhere. Now they can run live experiments on the exact roulette wheels the Las Vegas casinos use. A year after they started, Doyne Farmer and Norman Packard are now sinking all of their spare time into studying roulette and probability. To them, they're on the cusp of something big. Very big. But to some of their friends, it's complete madness. The obsession has started to impact Doyne's academic scores, to the point where he has to take a year out. But to him,
he had to fucking drop out of college to fucking work on a roulette table every day.
It's totally worth
it. How long you think this would take for them to figure this bitch out?
His plan,
a year or so, and we're gonna be rich. So they've been working on this for already like a year and a half.
Are gonna make them rich. To pull in additional help and raise funding, they officially registered their own company. The name? Eudaimonic Enterprises. It's a strong hint at their philosophical outlook. They don't just want to beat the casino, they want to use the proceeds to start their own commune and reject the restrictions of society. Back in the dorm room, they've erected a set of metal poles, tape, wires, and create a towering structure over their roulette wheel. It's nicknamed the guillotine. The structure's purpose is to take photos of the wheel at the perfect moment. At a 90-degree angle, over the centre of the wheel is a camera. Linked to the camera is an oscilloscope to keep track of motion.
How much do you think they end up winning? I want to know how much money they get from this. They would have to throw some wrong bets though, because the casino would get suspicious. So even if they figure it out, they would have to like win, lose, win, lose, win. Like they could win a bunch of times, but they can't. If they won like fucking 50 in a row, they'd be like, okay, buddy, Nick for the 5, just passed my driver's test. Well done, man. Congrats.
A microphone will trigger the camera's shutter at the precise
they have like a fucking 95% win rate on roulette. People would be like, dude, what?
Moment the ball falls off the roulette wheels out of track. Then, once the ball settles, the numbers and image are recorded together. The guillotine allows them to accurately measure the numerical distribution of the wheel in line with where the ball had moved. It's genius. After refining the process and collecting multiple datasets, they soon realised that they now have a system that allows them to model and track any roulette wheel after tracking it for around about 30 minutes. To maintain accuracy, they had to collect this data while the wheel is in play, inside the casino. Beyond this, there are only 4 variables left to factor in on a spin-by-spin basis, all of which are controlled by the croupier. They have to identify the
worst feeling in the world when you're playing roulette. The ball lands in yours.
All of which,
and then it bounces out and fucking goes into a different one.
Croupier. They have to identify the position the wheel is in.
This is making me want to gamble, chat. I feel like I gotta stop watching this. But now we're already invested.
The speed the rotor
this make me really want to gamble.
is turning at, the location of the ball, and the speed of the ball. Their solution.
I feel like I could watch the roulette wheel like 5 times and figure this out, chat. No problem. Chat, watch me come back tomorrow to stream, and I'll be like, chat, I won fucking $5 million at the casino. I just read the ball. I just gut instinct to bet fucking green.
Is relatively simple in theory, although tougher in practice. By monitoring when a number on the wheel passes a fixed point in the room and then passes it again, they have both the position the wheel is in and the speed the rotor is turning at. Simultaneously monitoring when the ball passes the same fixed point twice in a row, they have the location of the ball and its speed. The hardest part is discreetly collecting all of this information and then quickly running the calculations.
But then how the fuck do they do it on spot and bet the right number?
Seems almost impossible. But they've come so far, so there's only one solution: a computer. With Doyne's computer programming experience, they decide it's worth a shot. Writing the program isn't the hard part though. Hiding a small but reliable computer under their clothes is.
How does this make you want to gamble? Because I'm watching a ball land on a roulette wheel, and the feeling of a ball landing, like the feeling of betting like 3 out of 36 numbers and a ball landing on the number that you bet is fucking, oh my God, man. It's like, dude, the fucking, the feeling you get, your heart's pounding, you got a shitload of money, and then you won fucking $400 on one number. Oh my God.
As far as they're aware,
Chat, tell me to stop.
Nobody.
Don't ask me any more questions about it. Nick for the 5 said pass my driver's test. Dub. I don't remember if I read that.
Managed this before. The consequences of being
and you say you are not addicted, buddy. I haven't gambled in like 2 months.
A potentially
I haven't gambled in like 2 months, bro. Trust.
Disastrous. In 1975, Las Vegas is run by the mob. The law is the least of their worries. After several trials and many failures, Norman has custom built the hardware. The computer's main circuit board will be strapped to the player's chest with thin wires running down the inside of the trouser leg, where a simple switch will be taped to the inside of their shoe. This is how they'll control the data entry. Following the data inputs that are made, their secret computer will run a formula involving trigonometric functions. After it's processed the calculations, it'll then signal back where they should bet. But with a low budget, they're running on favours and donations from friends. The computer's
imagine going to your friend. Hey man, you know how I've been working on a roulette wheel for a while? He goes, yeah. Well, could you lend me like $5,000? No. Bro, I could predict where the ball will land. I'm telling you. I could predict where the ball will land. No, the fuck you can't. Well, give me the $5,000 and I'll prove it. give me the $5,000. He comes back next day. All right. Do you have like $5,000 more dollars? The machine was faulty.
Outputs will be managed via.
Trust me, this time I have a foolproof plan.
A small electromagnetic device taped to the player's chest next to the.
I'm gonna go to the blackjack table. I'm gonna put it all on one hand, and then I'm gonna give you your money back.
Computer's motherboard. It's not ideal, but they've sourced these pads from a psychology experiment on campus. The whole computer will be powered by batteries stashed on the player's side, under their armpit. At last, their dream is about to become a reality. They're ready for their first hit. They're ready to beat Vegas roulette with science. On a cold winter afternoon in 1977, a very nervous Doyne farmer steps into a Las Vegas casino. Despite the cold weather, he's already broken a sweat. He picks a roulette table, sits down, and starts betting low stakes. It takes a while, but eventually he settles into a rhythm, gently tapping his secret input switch. Twice to track the wheel's rotation, and twice to track the ball's speed.
How does it tell him where to bet, though? Does he have like an earpiece?
On his chest, the computer immediately gets to work. It twinges back, sending mild shocks across his chest. The system is working. From start to finish, he has around 12 to 18 seconds to input the data, receive the signal, and place the bet. It's awkward, but the advantage is clear.
Bro, but wouldn't it seem so obvious? Like, he never bets until the wheel's already spinning, and then he goes 7, 10, 15, 23. And then it happens again. 6, 6, 8, 12, 23. Just every time. He just randomly chunks the bet 2 seconds before they close it.
They've given themselves a 20% advantage over the house. But he's nervous.
20%? Yeah, that kind of sucks. I mean, long time that's good, but...
And sensible. So he keeps the stakes low. It isn't long before he finds himself chuckling. The chips are starting to build up. He's making money. But with money comes attention. He's noticed a man holding a radio in the background. He suspects it's a casino pit boss. It's an unexpected turn, although currently he has a bigger problem to worry about. Amongst the excitement of winning and the nerves of using a hidden computer, Doyne has worked up quite a sweat. The sweat is amplifying the shocks the computer makes on his body.
Oh my god, so he starts fucking, he's about to pull a Danny DeVito in that one Always Sunny scene where they shove an anal bead up his butt to tell him what fucking chess moves to do. He's gonna start going, "Sir, are you okay? Sir, are you okay? Yeah. Put it on number 27.
He doesn't want to adjust the computer at the table, that would be obvious. So he makes a break for the restroom. The casino pit boss follows him in. It's his worst nightmare. What now? Is he about to get caught? Hidden in the toilet cubicle, he holds his breath and gently peels the computer's electromagnetic shock pad from his chest. He's sweating profusely, and now he's questioning if this was even a good idea. The crackle of the pit boss's radio breaks the silence. He's being called to an emergency elsewhere in the casino. Relief. With the computer's output hanging under his shirt, he makes a break for the casino's cashier, and then the exit. It's a close call, but he's got away with it. And now...
How much money did he win, though, to trigger a pit boss looking at you?
He knows their system works. He just needs to scale up the stakes and find a creative way to hit Vegas casinos hard. In order to make millions of dollars...
Yo, you know what's crazy, too? I would be trailing that motherfucker's bets. If I was sitting at that roulette table and I saw him win, like, 15 times in a row, I would just bet whatever the fuck he bet every time. I would just be sitting next to him. I'd be like, yo, when are you coming here next? I'll tag along.
Norman and Doyne know they must expand the team. Hitting the casinos in pairs is the idea. One player to collect roulette data and signal which numbers are hot, and another to place bets. For example, if the data taker bets on even, it means the wheel has been accurately profiled. They know casino staff pull consistent winners aside for questioning, so it'll take the heat away from the player wearing the computer under their shirt. Plus it means the bettor doesn't have to concentrate too much. They can chat with the croupier and hold his attention. Within weeks, they've brought 20 other science students into the fold. They promise to evenly distribute...
That's too many people, though. That's too many people, though. You gotta keep a crime ring low, chat. We know that. We know that from Breaking Bad.
Profits amongst the group and fund a scientific community if it works. Given the era's social views, it's a savvy move.
They're gonna
At this
snitch on
point,
him.
the company has spent its initial $10,000 investment on experiments and equipment to beat the casino. They don't have a huge bankroll to use, so the plan is to start small and gradually increase the stakes as the chips build up. But it leaves one question on everyone's mind. What if we get caught? Norman explains that it's extremely unlikely because the computer will only predict a 5-number section of the wheel to bet on. Therefore, the player placing the bets will put down multiple bets. On the roulette table, the bets will be spaced out because they're not next to each other like on the wheel. It means their betting patterns will look totally random to the casino croupier. Plus, technically speaking, their system's perfectly legal.
Yeah, because it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It'll be like 1, 15, 24... 36, 5. So it won't look like they're cheating at all. It'll look like they're just lucky.
Being physics nerds that have barely set foot in a Vegas casino before, it seems like a reasonable answer. I mean, those greedy casinos make enough money already, right? Their aim is to launch a Las Vegas assault over the summer break. In the months leading up to it, between cramming for exams, they need to assemble more computers and put their new recruits through some...
Is this illegal? I mean, he's just doing probability. Like, I don't think this... if he gets arrested, that'll annoy me. Because this is just like, he's not cheating. It's not like he's seeing the... It's not like blackjack where they're gonna fucking see the fucking dealer's cards or something.
Serious practice. Their actions need to be second nature, seamlessly operating each roulette hit one after another. It's a challenging phase with new equipment problems and Norman thinks they're moving too fast. But Doyne won't have it. Their Las Vegas fantasy is no longer a dream. It's August of 1978 and 16 baby-faced physics students have arrived in Las Vegas. They're paired into 8 roulette beating squads. It's been an exhausting last week and tension is running high within the group.
Bro, them going to the same casino is the dumb idea. I think they should have all just went to different casinos. If they have pairs of 2 that obviously look like college physics students, like nerdy people, and they're all the people winning at every roulette table they sit at.
But they're finally ready. As they step under the Vegas lights, there's a quiet anticipation.
It's probably a massive casino. Yeah, it's a massive casino, but dude, how many, like, even, I don't know, I've never been to a Las Vegas casino, but the biggest AC casino I've been to maybe has 15 roulette tables.
Backed by a mixture of adrenaline and nerves. They spread out, targeting different casinos at the same time. Doyne's pair go to Harrah's and Norman's hit the Silver Nugget. The data collection begins.
That makes sense.
And the bets start to follow. First is $2 bets, then 5, followed by 7. Things are going well. In the first hour, Doyne's team is up $1,200, equivalent to $7,000 in today's money.
Oh. $7,000 in an hour? Oh shit! I was gonna say $1,200 in an hour. Like, that's a lot of money, but I was like, I mean, you could get lucky and win $1,200. $7K in an hour is a shitload of money.
7 other
per group of 2
teams scattered around Vegas are attempting.
Oh my god! So the whole group, it would be 7 times 8. 8. That'd be 56. $56,000 in an hour.
To do.
Oh my god. $56,000 an hour from just betting on roulette.
The same. The feeling is euphoric until casino security begin to loiter nearby. This beginner's luck from a couple of young hippies hasn't gone unnoticed. They stick out like a sore thumb amongst the casino's regular clientele. After an evening's play, the wider team regroup. Amongst the pairs, there are several concerns about angry-looking casino staff. This is not the problem that they had envisioned. One of the other team's data takers has been sweating heavily, much like Doyne's first visit. The damage is worse though. She's lost several layers of skin from repeat electromagnetic shocks. A little blood stains her blouse. There's multiple complaints about the malfunction in equipment. In an era of primitive technology,
she got electrically shocked that bad that it burned her skin and made her bleed through her dress.
It's problematic.
Bro, you would be sitting there going, fucking as you're getting zapped. David for the 3. What do you think is the best argument for God existing? Fish in Igladash for the sub. We'll talk about that when we get to philosophy. That's not the next video, the video after that. Dr. X for the 5. Are you ever going to play Elden Ring? I did in the past. My chat hated it. Caden and Rylan for the sub. June for the 3. Chat, if you have any videos you want me to watch, or games you want me to play, exclamation my Discord, video suggestion, game chat. That's how I find most of the videos that I watch, the games that I play. So if you have any videos you want me to watch, games you want me to play, send those there. June for the 3. 99% of gamblers quit before a big win. Nick for the 5. I already read that.
Broken wires, electric shocks, and the threat of being dragged into a back room, tension amongst the group intensifies. Norman blames Doyne's persistent pressure to rush ahead, but Doyne can only think about staking bigger. If all of the teams had reached $50 stakes, they'd be sitting on $250,000 now. The risk of a run-in with casino security might seem worthwhile then. They huddle together in a Vegas parking lot to count the money. Undoubtedly, they've found a way to scientifically beat Vegas roulette, but it's only generated $10,000 profit and a whole load of problems. They face a conundrum: reinvest the lot, source more equipment and go again, or call it quits, share out the profit and remain friends long into the future. I'm glad to say,
I'd keep going.
After much reflection, Professor Doyne Farmer, Norman Packard and this band of misfits decide to take option 2. In 2012, Doyne broke his silence on exactly how it was done. He said, "I kept it silent because I didn't..."
So he never actually got in trouble. That is actually crazy. So they made like $80K and then just quit. W video. Floating for the 3. Oh boy, do I have a game idea for you. Don't tell me Omori. Chat, coming down 30 seconds. I gotta piss and then we're hopping into the next video. All right. Tramp for the sub. All right, lock in here. Why do trailers keep spoiling movies? Lock in.
Movie trailers are given a lot of guff, strugglers. Almost every time I see a trailer online, I can safely assume that there are going to be droves of people saying things like, too much was given away, and I don't even need to see the movie now, because too much was given away. But is that even true?
Yeah. For comedy movies specifically, oh my god. Maybe not about plot, but there's a few genres. I think thriller movies and comedy movies give too much away in like a 2-minute trailer most of the time. Comedy movies don't necessarily give the plot away, but they show like maybe 4 out of the fucking top 10 funniest jokes in the whole movie in 2 minutes. And thriller movies just show like 70% of what happens. Pope for the 3. Love you, Joe. Shout out No Context Lacrosse. Assassin for the sub.
Is it? The new movie The Fall Guy comes out today, so I haven't had a chance to see it yet. But a few months ago when I first saw the trailer for the movie, there were so many people commenting that basically the entire movie was given away. The trailer spoiled everything.
You want to rent it, sir? Why? I just saw the best part.
To be fair, 3.5 minutes is a very long.
Yeah, that's way too long. How a movie trailer should be like a minute. A minute and a half, like a teaser clip. They shouldn't even be like a full-length trailer. I've seen trailers that are like 4 minutes long, and that's just then I'm just watching a short fucking film.
Movie trailer. And with how quickly everything moves, like there are so many cuts in this trailer, it does kind of feel like maybe you're seeing a huge portion of the film. Let me just walk you through what goes down in the trailer. We learn that Ryan Gosling's character is a Hollywood stuntman, and he has a romantic history with the director of the movie that he's working on. Then we learn that the star of said movie has gone missing, and they send Ryan out to look for him. He finds the guy dead in a bathtub, and that leads to Ryan getting roped into some real sinister stuff.
That alone is too much. Like, that alone, they should have skipped that and just showed him fighting people and kept it really confusing. They just showed one of the major points in the fucking film.
Stuff. Action shot, action shot, action shot, and cut. I think they've told entire story in this trailer. As soon as they said the actor died, it spoiled everything. Sure, but
I don't know about everything, but it spoils a key point in the film.
Like, how do you know that, though? Have you seen the whole movie? Do you have a time machine? Why aren't you using it for something more important? There's a huge difference between letting an audience in on the premise of a movie and straight up giving everything away. For all we know, everything shown here in this trailer could have...
The one movie that gives away every funny joke that I always think of is Ted. If you watch the Ted trailer for Ted 1 or Ted 2, every funny joke in Ted is in the trailer. Like, if you watch the trailer of Ted, there is now no need to watch the movie because you saw all of the funny clips of Ted.
Have taken place in the first 30 minutes of the movie. Like, imagine seeing a trailer that gives away the first 30 minutes of Big Hero 6. You'd be convinced they ruined the whole movie, right? But so much happens after that first 30 minutes. It's just like an action-packed 30 minutes, you know what I mean? So if you had no idea what was going on for the rest of the movie and just saw the trailer, you might sit there and think, they gave away the biggest thing that happened. They didn't. Also, within the Fall Guy movie, they're shooting a movie. So we don't exactly know what's actually happening or what's...
Yeah, that is true. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't like long trailers. Floating for the 3. One day, can we watch the Fran Bro trailer and get a vote on whether we play it? Yeah, not today, though. Xeon for the sub, Assassin for the sub.
A movie within the movie?
Y'all have any games you want me to play or videos you want me to react to? Exclamation with Discord, video, /tab, game, /tab.
It's confusing and hard to follow if you haven't actually seen it. And again, I haven't seen it on account of it not being released yet. All of these comments could very well be completely right, and the trailer gives away the entire movie, but it's the confidence with which they say that got me thinking, maybe this actually is a problem. A lot of people seem to think that it...
Hey, Joe, I just threw my phone across the room because I accidentally requested somebody on Instagram when I was stalking. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That sucks. That's a brutal thing. Aaron for the 300 videos. You were looking at a private account and you requested to follow them? Brutal, man. Brutal, man. That sucks. I don't think that's... You ever see the memes where, oh my God, it was on Almost Friday TV, and they were, like, scrolling on this... It was, like, a guy scrolling on this girl's Insta, and he got all the way back to, like, 2016. And he was like, it's too far gone. It's too far gone. They bring in, like, a bomb squad, and he, like, slowly scrolls up, trying to not like any of the photos.
It is. We don't just think things for no reason most of the time. If you search trailers that spoiled the movie or trailers that gave away too much on Google, there is no shortage of articles written about this. One of the most famous spoilers in a trailer was for 2000's Castaway. The trailer shows the answer to the most important mystery in the film. Does Tom Hanks make it off the island? Another popular one that always comes up is the Terminator franchise. Apparently they have spoiled like 3 different villain twists over the years. There's also a movie called Soylent Green from the 70s where the main reveal that the entire movie is building towards is just shown in the trailer. And ironically, there's a BuzzFeed article that complains about trailers that spoil movies.
Bro, I miss, like, old 2010 comedy trailers. Where it's like, there was a man, and he had one mission. To become the greatest baseball player of all time. And it would be like the dumbest trailer ever, but it was like it was a good trailer, you know? Like, it was dumb in the sense that it was cringy, but it explained everything that you needed to know to where you would like the movie or not.
Oh, hi there. I'm the Deep. Today I'm here to educate America's beautiful youth about the dangers of too much sugar in soda. I get it. I too used to be brainwashed by soda until I found out that soda is basically just a bunch of sugar and water. Who knew? Here you go. Drink this. See? Who would give that to a child? That's why Liquid Death sent me here, because they have an entire line of flavored sparkling waters with just 20 calories, 4 grams of sugar from real agave. 4 grams is way less than whatever the hell this kid's drinking. Did you know that some studies show that over...
What? Bro, that's so weird that came up on my YouTube feed as I'm drinking one.
Movies, while the entire article is spent spoiling movies. Spider-Man pointing meme.jpg looking ass. Whenever I see a comment about this, they're almost always insinuating that this is a new phenomenon. And like most things, I think that stems from the fact that nobody can comprehend the existence of anything before their time. Every problem,
Yo, you know the biggest scam is, anybody remember when you used to get DVDs and it would show trailers to movies in the DVD that you bought? Like, that should be illegal. It's nostalgic now looking back at it when it's like a Disney movie and it's like, here we go, and it like starts playing trailers for like WALL-E, and it's like, holy shit, when I bought this DVD, WALL-E wasn't even out yet. Like, that's interesting, right? And I like that. But in the current time, buying a DVD and then not being to immediately be able to watch the film and having to sit through fucking 20 minutes of ads, DUI for the sub. I know you can fast forward, but it's still stupid. Wait, now I want to look at old Disney trailers. Old Disney trailer DVD. DVD intro for Disney.
We have our heading.
Here we go!
From the magic within our hearts.
Oh my God.
To the adventure beyond the horizon.
I can't. It's gonna make me upset. It's nostalgic.
Idea.
You know, trailers were originally shown after the movie. That's why it's called a trailer. Why would a trailer be shown after a movie?
Every life hack was discovered by me just now for the first time. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it, looking ass. Do you agree that most movie trailers reveal way too much of the movie nowadays? I absolutely do. I remember when it was sacrilege to give away too much. And when was that exactly? There's a Looper article about trailers that spoiled movies with examples dating back 40 plus years.
Oh, Friday the fucking 13th. No, dude, you already know what's gonna... You don't even need to watch a fucking trailer to know what's gonna happen in a fucking Jason movie. Jason's gonna come back. He's gonna kill a bunch of people. He's gonna die. But at the last 10 seconds of the film, there's going to be something that inclines you to believe that there's going to be another coming of Jason. And then the next movie starts and lightning strikes his grave and he comes back. Right? And he's back and he's better than ever and he kills people. And then somebody kills him. And then he comes back. It's the same thing with fucking Michael Myers or every other one. Scrooge for the sub. And I never understood the premise of Michael Myers. I understand it's like a fucking... It's a fucking film. But if Michael Myers is like this immortal being that literally can't die and slaughters people on the same day every year, you would think that like they would evacuate the town or the military would come in and like strap him to a brick wall and shoot him with a fucking tank shell and just explode his body.
And that's just one article. Imagine what I could find if I looked at 2 articles. Did you know that movie trailers originally showed the entire movie on purpose? Like, that was the whole point. The trailer was just a quick highlight reel of the film to hopefully convince audiences to go pay money to see the full thing in theaters. The world used to be such a sick, twisted...
Dude, watching silent films... Ugh. I know those weren't silent films that he shows, but back before they had audio and films, and it was just like somebody walking around and going... And it would be like a comedy film where he'd just be like hugging a wall on the side of a building on the outside, and he'd almost fall off, and he'd slip and grab himself, and people would go, People that were alive in the 1920s had to have had the worst humor ever, because they would go and pay to watch people like slip and fall one time, and they would die laughing like it was the funniest shit they've ever fucking seen.
Place. So, okay, trailers have been spoiling movies for a very long time. Since The Land Before Time, frankly. That trailer showed...
Back in your time? Buddy, I was born after 9/11. That was not back in my time. I was born in 2002, buddy. Not fucking 1920.
A T-Rex attack and a volcano eruption. Guess I don't have to even see the movie now. But
you were alive when they had movies with no audio? No.
Who is to blame?
I did watch a silent film on Netflix once, though. They have those. Go watch a 10-minute silent film on Netflix. It's fucking terrible. Optimus for the 3. Will you play Hollow Knight Silksong? No. Probably not.
For this. Who?
I might give it a try if my chat wants me to.
Who can I blame for this? We can blame ourselves. I bet you didn't see that one coming. Okay, listen, I'm with you, right? I get a little sad when I feel like a trailer has ruined an experience for me and dampened my excitement.
I will say I would rather deal with a trailer that ruins an experience slightly than not be able to ever watch a trailer and just have to go head on into a movie and then walk out of that movie going, that was fucking terrible. I'd rather watch 10 trailers, get spoiled by 2, maybe watch one of the spoiled ones, and then see the other ones and go, okay, this looks like a fucking terrible movie, then have to invest 45 minutes of my time to watch something that I'll end up just turning off because it's fucking terrible.
As opposed to enhancing it. If a movie trailer gives away what I feel is too much information about a movie, it doesn't feel great. But the hard truth is that the majority of people just do not care. As a matter of fact, the majority of people think the exact opposite. So in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, they had some surprising inclusions, and I always thought, they didn't need to do that. Do you know how rabid the Marvel fan base was when they even theorized that there was a possibility of a live-action team-up of the different Spider-Man over the years? They went nuts over it. I went nuts over it.
He moves! Right there! Wait! Right there! Coincidence? I think not!
Why the hell would the trailer even potentially spoil that for the fan base that was so crazy about it? Because it's not about those people. It's about the general audience. The average person isn't violently interested in the lore of live-action Spider-Man actors. The average person just gets excited when they see a big bad guy getting smacked by Spider-Man. That's what gets them fun.
Like Godzilla trailers. Like, you ever watch a trailer for Kong or Godzilla? It's the same thing every time. It's like, oh my god, it's fucking Godzilla! Oh my god, he's killing everybody! What do we do? Bring out the military. Ooh, he breathes fire this time. Oh my god. And then people go see the movie.
Fired up. Super fans were going to see the movie regardless.
Oh my god, there's Godzilla. Woo! And then there's Kong. Woo! Oh my god, they're fighting each other. Oh my god, how is this going to end? We don't know.
All right, I was going to go see the new Spider-Man. I did not care about what they showed in the trailers. I didn't care what I knew. I was going to go see it. The general audience, they want to see someone getting smacked around, okay? But now we know that there's some kind of potential link to the multiverse of different Spider-Man over the years, and what if they... My sweet child, the average person doesn't even know who this is. They just want to get out of the house and see a movie. They're exhausted, dude. They just need a break from it all. And sure, maybe they'd be less exhausted if they had a good night's sleep. But honestly, that sounds like a transition into a sponsor, a very quick sponsor. Actual video.
Oh, Optimus for the 3. Except for Godzilla -1, it's actually a really good 10 out of 10 movie where Godzilla is a metaphor.
We're back now? Okay, great. Did you know that movie studios spend a lot of money on marketing? Did you know that? I'm sorry, I wasn't sure if you had noticed the fast food collaborations or the movie theater cups or the massive billboards or the TV commercials or the shameless car ads or the press tours purposely meant to drum up affair rumors in order to drive interest or the little toys or the press tours purposely meant to confirm affair rumors in order to drive interest or the...
Bro, but who actually watches these? Like, if you're watching these stupid fucking focus groups for movies, you're an NPC. I'm so sorry. If you're watching NBC News talk about Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney and their fucking love relationship on the newest rom-com that they're both in, you are a fucking computer. Which is literally... Oh, wait, no, that's not the next video we're watching. We were also going to potentially watch Are You an NPC? If you watch Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney's... I've seen their movie. It was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. Brooke made me watch it, and I didn't want to. I was reluctant, and then it was actually pretty funny. But... if you watch the fucking interviews they do for this shit, you are a computer.
In order to drive interest, or the little toys, or the press tours purposely meant to confirm affair rumors in order to drive interest, or the cereal boxes. The studios are trying to just sell as many tickets to...
I miss OG cereal boxes. Before like, damn, y'all ain't exist in that era. Some of y'all ain't exist in that era. When I was like 8, there weren't like iPads and shit readily available. So when I'm eating my cereal, I'm watching a cartoon, and I'm looking... Floating said I did. I'm saying a lot of y'all didn't. I'm looking at the back of the cereal box, and I just read that bitch. I'd go, some cool cartoons, and it would be like a little puzzle, and I'd try and solve that shit while I'm eating my Cocoa Pebbles.
These movies as they possibly can, and believe it or not, a movie trailer that reveals more about the movie...
Evo said I existed. Oh, they don't have a cereal in Ireland, though, right? You just drank Guinness when you were like 5. It was just Guinness and Wheaties. That was what Irish people fucking drank.
Is more appealing to a general audience.
You can answer this, but after watching a lot of your videos, I wondered if you ever think the way people receive you in their lives and the fact that you might actually have saved lives by streaming. I mean, that's part of the reason that I'm a massive suicide prevention advocate, is because I know I can affect people, right? I mean, I used to not know that, and I used to be arrogant to that, or ignorant to that, rather. But, I mean, you know, now I know that I can affect people positively and also, you know, aid people in their life. People tell me about that a lot, so, I mean, that's why I really push forward for that more as well. Light for the 2 subs, Optimus for the 3.
Audience than a cryptic teaser trailer. We know this because of focus groups.
These filmmakers, they need valuable input, and we have been carefully selected to provide it.
We were walking out of the mall, and they offered us Red Lobster gift card.
Focus groups almost always prefer movie trailers that give more away. I've read so many articles with so many quotes from so many industry insiders that all say the same exact thing. The general public is more influenced to spend money on a movie ticket for a movie that had a trailer that is more revealing. And that might be shifting now with younger audiences, but since the beginning of movies, that's what it's been. Remember the Castaway example from before? The whole reason that the studio included that big...
That's a great movie. Where he gets Willis.
...reveal in the trailer.
And he talks to his volleyball. Dude, I didn't know that movie was this old.
Was because focus group test audiences demanded to know what happened to Tom Hanks. They wanted to know from the trailer if he gets off the island or not. You can't just go see the movie, guys? No, they didn't want to go see the movie if they didn't already know what happened. The citizens of Pawnee don't seem so far-fetched now, do they?
What's so bad about corn syrup? It's natural. Corn's a fruit. Syrup comes from a bush.
Oh boy.
I forgot how good Parks and Rec is as a show. I watched that like directly after I watched The Office. It's literally just a better show. Parks and Rec is better than The Office by far.
I read that and I'm just sitting here like, what are you talking about? Who is like that? Who actually thinks that way? But that's my personal opinion. I'm just that way, and it's hard to see from a different perspective when I'm so sure that my way is right. Allegory for politics, perhaps. Hey, I just wanted to pop in because I had a thought. I just have to say, the original trailer for Castaway wasn't something that spoiled the movie. The original trailer is so good. I just watched it. It's actually incredible. I've seen Castaway. Watching this trailer makes me...
Oh, and it probably cuts like right when he realizes that he's on this island. That would be fucking goated. I'm fast forwarding. I want to see what he says about trailers.
Of a man. So now
not Castaway.
We've established that the reason a lot of movie trailers give away what seems to be too much is because that's actually what the people want. But there is a flip side to this as well. As with most things, who would have thought? And that comes when a movie trailer basically lies about what the movie is gonna be. The trailers for the original...
Oh, it's like a scam mobile ad. Dude, I hate when movie trailers will do that bullshit. Where they'll try and, like, they'll rope you in, and it seems like the best movie ever, and then you have the same experience when you see, like, a TikTok mobile ad where it's like, wow, this game looks great. You download it, you start playing it, and it's like 5 seconds in, you're like, okay, this is not at all what the fuck they were marketing.
Suicide Squad were so insanely...
What movie did that? I feel like a lot of not even comedy movies, dude. It's not comedy. Comedy movies, they just ruin the jokes. I will say comedy movies, I think they inflate how good the movie will be because they push a lot of the best scenes in it. He's saying Suicide Squad. I never even saw the Suicide Squad trailer, so I can't reason on that. I would say comedy movies do it a lot. I would say thriller movies can sometimes do it, but you can't really lie in a thriller movie as much as you can for comedies. I just love comedy movies more than anything, and comedy films just inflate how good the movie will seem in a trailer. And then it's just like every other point that wasn't in the trailer is just lackluster.
Good, dude. I rarely get hyped for a movie to come out, like genuinely hyped. I was so hyped to go see this movie. It looked so cool. I walked into the theater just itching to see this movie back in 2016. I genuinely felt sad when I walked out. It was so bad. And that's, you know, bad is subjective. The movie was so different from what the...
I think Suicide Squad 2 was better than Suicide Squad 1. I enjoyed Suicide Squad 2 with Bruce the Shark, and they had the dude, the polka dot guy that would, like, when he got nervous, he would, like, swell up with polka dots and he would have to throw up rainbows and shit.
Trailers portrayed it to be. I felt like I was lied to.
Somebody said no shit. Yeah, this is where Jay Crispy gets banned from my fucking chat because what a dumb fucking comment that was, said no shit. Buddy, newsflash, for the most part, fucking follow-up movies or movies, part 2s in movies usually end up being worse than the fucking first. Venom 2, as example. I'm banning you. I'm not banning you. I'm timing you out. I have to be more lenient. Stupid fucking chat. No shit.
And stolen from. What I was teased was not at all what I got. And should that not be against the law? Let's lock them up, honestly. Another one that made my grandma very upset was Kangaroo Jack. We saw the trailers for this and thought, well, isn't that silly? A movie about a talking kangaroo, that'll be a hoot. Come to find out, the kangaroo only talks one time in the movie, and it's while one of the main characters is hallucinating. And that scene takes place directly after he grabs a woman's boobs.
They feel so real.
So needless to say, my grandma never trusted a movie trailer again. Something that I never saw a trailer for before I watched the movie.
I've never seen Kangaroo Jack. I've never even heard of that fucking movie.
Back in high school was Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And I'm glad I didn't see the trailer because it makes it look like it's this wacky, fun rom-com, which it's not. The movie has some parts that are a little bit wacky and a little bit fun, but it's definitely more of a serious movie. I guess it makes sense too because they were trying to lure in fans of Jim Carrey, and he was known as like a comedic actor. So it might have been weird for them to be
Jim
like...
Jim Carrey was goated in The Truman Show. I think The Truman Show might be a top film ever. I think that might be one of the best movies I've ever seen. Truman Show, just the premise of the show is fucking amazing.
Like, what's this serious movie? What's this dramatic role he's doing? I want to see him be a goofy guy, a silly little goofy Jim Carrey guy, you know? But I would feel really cheated had I seen the trailer for the movie.
What's the Truman Show? It's basically an idea. Well, Jim Carrey's the main actor, and he's somebody that was born into a fake world, and it's basically a huge movie set. And all of the people in his life are actors, and they film him 24/7 and broadcast it, and it makes a shitload of money. But they filmed him from birth till, like, he figures it out. And like, people break in, they try to tell him, like, hey, man, you're in a simulation, your life's fake. And, like, everyone just, even his best friends are, like, actors, right? And they're just, like, lying to him this whole time. And he like, eventually figures it out, but...
And expected it to be a fun, silly movie, and then walked out with a broken heart. Regardless of how good the movie is, getting rug pulled like that doesn't feel good. If something feels yucky about it, it just feels icky, and it can hurt the experience a little bit. You know?
Imagine you're in the Truman Show and you just don't know. I mean, yeah, that would just be living in a simulation. What if you're the only real person and everybody else is an actor in your life? What if I'm entertaining you right now, but I'm actually only here to distract you from the fact that you're in a simulation? J-Dub and Wrecked for the sub, Ins for the sub.
No, like I said, the movie could be great, but it's tainted.
Or vice versa. What if you're all actors and you're just my viewers, and you're not, you're just computers that are talking to me, and none of you are actually real?
Did a tad. But then, on the other hand, with Avengers Infinity War, I'm actually glad that the trailer lied to me. Huh. How are you gonna...
It's crazy, though, how I bought all my viewers, and the only real person here is Floating Cantaloupe.
Justify that one, Scott. There were so many things that audiences thought had been spoiled when they saw the trailer, only to find out that they had been manipulated and shown things that didn't really fully happen or weren't totally accurate to the final movie. And I think that that was a perfectly fine thing for the studio to do, specifically with this movie, because everything had been building...
Yeah, because it misleads people from trying to figure shit out.
...for like 10 years at that point, and everyone had theorized every possible outcome under the sun. Oh, red circle, arrow pointing at this thing. That's what this means in the trailer. And if they had been given the full truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God, it might have genuinely spoiled the movie. And these people were going to go see it no matter what. I was, like I said, I don't get hyped that often. Infinity War had me going crazy, guys. I thought I knew what I was getting into, and I was completely shocked. Everything was flipped on my head. It was so exciting to have been lied to. There was an Entertainment Weekly article from 2015 where a trailer editor admits that the studios do not even care if they're lying to audiences. And even...
Yo, it like low-key annoys me, though, that at the end of, it wasn't Civil War, Infinity War, and then it was Endgame. At the end of Endgame, how they bring everybody back. What was the point in everybody fucking dying then? Right, we brought him back, except Gamora. It's a different dimension. Gamora still exists, but Gamora's a different dimension Gamora. Bro, lazy as fuck. And the only, like, real person that actually dies is fucking Iron Man for that shit. It's so fucking cringe, bro. So fucking cringe. I gotta ban this chatter. I timed him out. I just gotta ban this chatter. I just gotta ban you, bro. Holy shit, you're a fucking spammer, bro. Love you, Joe. Love you, Joe. You the man. No Diddy. No Diddy. No Diddy. No Diddy. No Diddy. No Diddy. Yeah, no Diddy. No Diddy.
Even if they're not satisfied, they've already put down their money and put their butts in the seats, and the studio,
brother, we get it,
is going to be very happy with that. Well, you. That's worse than like blatant clickbait on YouTube. Because if you get clickbaited on YouTube, like the worst thing that'll happen is you wasted a couple minutes of your time. But if you get clickbaited by a movie studio, you've wasted actual cash and like 2 hours of your time. How dare...
Have you guys ever walked out of a movie theater? I don't think I've ever seen somebody... if I pay for a movie, I'm watching the whole fucking movie. There's been movies where I've watched the whole movie and I'm like, this shit was terrible. But... if I'm paying for the film, I'm watching the fucking film. Unless it's like renting it. Like, I've rented a movie before and not finished it. But if I'm at a movie theater, like when I saw Marvel's Eternals, I remember watching that film and I was just like, this shit is a drag, bro. I was just bored. I remember I got up and left for like 10 minutes to get popcorn and fucking like soda. Because I was just like, I don't give a shit if I miss part of the movie. But I still finished it.
Are you? How dare you do that to us? Unless you're specifically Marvel's Infinity War. I'm all over the place with my logic. Am I being
I
hypocritical?
walked out on FNAF. Dude, when I watched the FNAF movie, it was like torture. It was a pretty good film. I think they could have made it so much scarier, and I wish they did. But I remember, what is that shit that fucking Freddy says where it's like, horror, 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 horror. There was like a group of like 6 just FNAF nerds, just like obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's. They came all like geared up, and we were waiting for it, and they were like, horror, 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 horror. Just the whole, like, for like 5 minutes. And I was like, you are pissing me off. The movie starts, and they do one of those dumbass outbursts where it's like the funny kid in the friend group, and he's like, oh my god, at like the first time Freddy even shows up, and they just show him. Like, nobody even dies. They just go, oh my god. And I remember I looked back, and I just stared at him, and I just went,
Of course not. I would never. So all of this is to say that there's a very...
I wish what the Sigma was a thing then. It would have been way worse. I guarantee you, every time somebody died, that kid would have gone, what the Sigma? What the Sigma? Chica's Cupcake killed somebody. What the Sigma?
Very fine line that a movie studio has to walk in order to make the perfect movie trailer. We can fall victim to this idea that everything needs to appeal to us specifically, and if it isn't done in the way that we see fit, then it's wrong. There is no objectively right way to make a movie trailer. It's kind of a case-by-case basis.
Yo, I don't understand. I'm gonna say this. I know that Jake Gyllenhaal movie is probably pretty good, but like, why? I don't understand the point in watching Creed or any of those other films. Like, I understand it's a success story and shit, but it's like, why not just watch a regular fucking boxing match? Like, if I'm gonna watch a film about boxing and I'm like sitting on the edge of my seat wondering who's gonna win, I know the fucking main character is gonna win in the end. Whereas if I just watch an actual boxing match, there's like a genuine chance that he fucking loses.
But here is my personal check.
Are you stupid? You can't say that about any other fucking type of movie. Boxing films or shit like that, like sporting films where they have to like work as a team or whatever. If it's like a comedy film, it's different. But if it's like, oh, like a thriller action, there's a fucking gnat. There's like a thriller action movie and it's just like fucking boxing and he's just kicking everybody's ass after he tries hard. I'm like, I'd rather just watch actual boxing. J-Dub for the 3. Yo, it's going for the sub.
Checklist for what I think I like.
Except for Real Steel. Yeah, but Real Steel's like a futuristic version of boxing. It's an entirely different thing. It's more like watching an anime than an actual boxing match. That's a garbage take. It's motivation for boxers like any other sport movie. I just don't like sport movies.
Best. First, be honest with the tone of the movie. If it's lighthearted, make that clear.
You know what I learned the other day? What sport is used most in male gay romance books? If you had a guess. What sport is used most in male gay romance movies? Or not movies, books. Hockey. It's always hockey. If you go into a bookstore and you look at like homosexual novels or like LGBTQ novels about like two men, it's always hockey. Because it's like the masculine stereotype. Like hockey's like one of the most like burly sports. So it's like kind of kill that fucker. You're dead. You're dead. It's kind of like what's it called? Taboo or something. So it's like it makes for like a better story, I guess.
Clear. If it's dark and dramatic and moody, show that. Music can play a huge role in like feeling out the vibe.
It's wrestling, not hockey. I'm gonna Google it. What sport is used most in gay male novels? I don't think they're gonna have a Google thing on this. You're wrong, it's wrestling. I feel like wrestling's too obvious, though.
So try to match that to the tone that the...
Like, because it's, like, what are they going to make that into, like, a raunchy thing where they're like, we were scrimmaging on the ground or something like that. With, like, hockey, it's, like, more behind the scenes or something. You know what I mean?
Movie is trying to convey. Second would be don't show any twists or huge reveals that happen.
Yeah, it would be like some shit where like we're sweaty on the mat together. Yeah, it would be like it's too easy to write about that. Hockey, they gotta add more effort in.
Happen after the first act of the movie, showing certain locations and characters and even like dialogue and action sequences that can be totally fine and maybe even necessary, so long as it doesn't ruin the experience of watching the movie for the first time. And third, have fun. Life is short. Let's just do our...
Yo, can we go to the next video? I feel like I've been yapping for so much during this that I just no longer care. Like, I got out what I needed to say. All right, let's move on. I'm spaded for the subfloating of the three. I had friends who were in rugby, and I swear to God, they were all gay. They genuinely all just jerked each other. But you know that, or you're saying you were speculative? We did the math. You are dead. Lock in. Lock in. Kurzgesagt video. Somewhat philosophical. Lock in. Also, if you have any videos you want me to watch, games you want me to play, exclamation my Discord, videos, /tab, games, /tab, I find most of the videos I watch, games that I play.
Absolutely everything you think about yourself and the universe could be an illusion. As far as you know, you are real and exist in a universe that was born 14 billion years ago and that gave rise to galaxies, stars, the Earth, and finally you. Except, maybe not.
And it's so weird we're alive and we're all alive together at the same time right now. And that, like, in 100 years we'll all be dead and dead forever. Like, we exist, but in the realm of the universe, we are so finite that it's like we never existed to begin with, even though we do right now.
You may actually not exist for real, but be the dream of a dead universe. You and everything you think exists. Crazy as it sounds, this may be an unavoidable consequence of our best scientific theories about the universe. Okay, this is a bit much. Let's start at the beginning. We need to understand three concepts for this idea to make sense. 1. The arrow of time. What distinguishes the past from the future? Put a drop of red ink into a glass
Why are you spamming subscribe, General Zod?
of water, and you see the ink spread until it fills the container, but never the opposite. Colored water, where ink spontaneously
I don't know why people are saying hi, YouTube. This isn't even definitively on YouTube yet. What the fuck is happening right now? Chat, I never even said this would definitively be a YouTube video. People are spamming hi, YouTube. Maybe for the VOD channel, if you want to say hi, YouTube, but this might not be a main channel video.
Concentrates and becomes a drop.
Just because there's a Kurzgesagt video doesn't mean it's going to be fucking on the YouTube channel. I don't think I've ever posted a Kurzgesagt video on my YouTube channel.
But the surface again.
Lock in, chat. Fuck.
Water, and you see the arrow of time. What distinguishes the past from the future? Put a drop of red ink into a glass of water, and you see the ink spread until it fills the container, but never the opposite. Colored water, where ink spontaneously concentrates and becomes a drop at the surface again. Time always seems to flow in the direction in which the ink spreads. But if you take a microscope, all you will see will be a swarm of molecules colliding at random. There are no rules, no forwards and backwards. Every individual motion that...
So is there a possibility that if you dropped like ink into a bowl of water, at some point it would all gather into a singular droplet again?
happens can occur in reverse. But we perceive a sort of arrow of time that makes things happen in one direction. How does this phenomenon occur? Well, this arrow of time is not actually fundamental, but a matter of probability. When ink molecules spread to fill a glass, there are many different slots of space they can occupy, and therefore many different possibilities to combine them. And just like your chances of winning the lottery grow the more tickets you have, the probability that ink molecules will end up filling the glass is much higher than the probability that they'll concentrate in just one spot. So it's not that the ink forming a drop again is forbidden by the laws of physics, it's just extremely unlikely. To see it, you'd have to wait about 10 to the power of 100 sextillion years. A 1 followed by 100...
Unless I'm really lucky. Unless I'm really lucky and it happens right before my eyes, but then nobody would fucking believe you.
Sextillion zero.
Check Kai Cenat's stream. Brother. Oh my god. If it's nothing, I'm banning you. If it's nothing, I'm banning you.
No. It ain't about...
He's dressed as an Elden Ring character. Solely for the $25 update since my last note to pass that fucking exam. Congrats. Dub in the chat for that. I'm submitted an AQ for the sub.
If you had this much time to spare, eventually, by pure random chance, you'd see a red blob form again. Actually, with enough time, you could see any shape forming. Like, for example, a small, red, soggy brain. Okay, let's move on to idea 2. 2. The far future of the universe. Our universe was born 14 billion years ago in the Big Bang. It expanded and evolved to give rise to the myriads of galaxies and things. In other words, the universe is kind of a glass of water with a lot of ink doing stuff. It has an arrow of time. But the universe is not a static glass. It seems to be getting bigger at an ever-increasing speed because of dark energy. Basically, everything in it is getting more and more diluted. In about 100 trillion years, the last star will die. Then, few interesting things will happen for the next few decillions, vantillions, and googles of years. Eventually, the universe will be a dark place fully dominated by dark energy, a rapidly expanding ball of pure space.
Bro, why does that make me sad? I'm gonna be fucking long dead. But whenever, somebody tells me, hey, one day the sun's gonna explode, I go, oh. Oh. Really? Really?
Almost avoid.
One day the whole universe is going to collapse within itself, start another universe, and then potentially you'll live your own life again and have no idea.
Matter. You might think that this would lead to the ultimate death of everything, but dark energy has one last surprise for you. In a universe dominated by dark energy, space expands so dramatically that it creates a cosmic horizon around you.
I always think, okay, and this is wishful thinking, but in a universe where anything can possibly happen, isn't there a universe where you die and become resurrected and at some point in the future? Even if it's 10 quintillion years from now, you would die and come back in some form. But I don't know if you would remember that you're you. That could just be another universe where a very similar version of you exists.
A border beyond which nothing will ever be able to reach you, not even light. So for every practical purpose, the universe has become a glass of finite size, about 36 billion light years wide, surrounded by an impassable cosmic horizon. Such a universe glass is basically...
There are people with those memories of past lives. They can't really prove that. I've seen shit like that. Chat, is this a pimple? Ow.
Basically a giant black hole turned inside out. We know that due to quantum effects, all black holes emit a tiny amount of particles, a phenomenon known as Hawking radiation. And so does our inside-out black hole.
Alright, get to the fucking point, funny man.
In the end, this radiation will fill the universe glass with particles again. At this point, so far in the future that giving you a number has no more meaning, we've reached the true final state. The universe has now become a closed box full of particles at an extremely low but finite temperature. And since they have a temperature, they undergo random motions. Or in other words, a glass filled with water and ink and an infinite amount of time ahead. Things are about to become interesting again. 3. Typing monkeys and fake universes. Eternity is a long, long time. So now, even the most extremely unlikely things can happen. The fluctuating particles are bumping into each other over and over and over.
I swear to God, if he says that shit where if you gave a chimp a typewriter and he just randomly spams shit in an infinite amount of time, he would type all of the works of Shakespeare, he could type Mein Kampf, he could type every philosophical book ever made.
Again, creating every combination of particles that's possible. They're like a monkey typing at random on a typewriter. Almost all of the time it types gibberish. But with enough time, eventually it will write the first acts of Hamlet. And with even more time, the complete works of Eminem. If ink in our universe glass generates any random arrangements of particles, what could they be? Well, a spontaneous fluctuation could give rise to a
that shit could randomly spawn me. So I could just so somewhere in the universe, dark energy could have fucking recompartmentalized somebody into a human. I don't know if that's the right word. Somebody into a human that already existed. Like, Abraham Lincoln could have just spawned into the middle of a void in the universe based on random fucking combinations and then just choked to death. Reconstructed.
Planet. Or to a galaxy.
Grabbed his reboot.
Or even to a lot of them. So maybe our universe has already ended, and all we see around us is a pop-up universe. Not a universe that evolved from a Big Bang, but one that fluctuated into existence by pure chance. And that, like the drop of ink, will only exist for a while before dissolving again. Being random, pop-up universes could be similar to ours, but with funny glitches. In some of these universes, dinosaurs are riding snails. In another, stars are made of blueberries. In another, you're wearing a funny hat. Scientists in such universes wouldn't understand those glitches, so maybe the greatest mysteries of physics are just nonsense bugs of our pop-up universe.
What? So the shit we can't explain is just like, huh, that's weird. It's just unlikely.
But not all possible fluctuations of our dead universe have the same probability of occurring. Smaller fluctuations are much more probable than bigger ones. A planet is more likely than a galaxy. But you know what's even way more likely? A human brain. Are you actually just a brain?
Oh my God.
You think, therefore you exist. But what else do you truly know? In the end, your brain is just interpreting signals from your senses and creating a world that you experience. So technically, you could be just your brain that thinks the world is real. And if we follow the...
Well, I think that's likely what it is. I think you are a brain that perceives yourself as a means of survival. And it's weird because this is my brain saying this, right? And I say my brain as if they're not different things, right? But really all I am is my brain. But when I say my brain, I just mean me. And then everything around me is just kind of attached to my brain. And when you look around, you perceive things, but that's not actually the universe. That's just how the brain is perceiving the things around you to aid your survival.
The logic of the ink.
Solely for the 15. I don't think so because I don't believe consciousness can be recreated. That's what makes us us. It's what makes us us, but what is consciousness? Consciousness is just the capacity to think, right? And the capacity to think and interact and self-perceive is due to language, which is created through evolution and other random interactions between humans of like-mindedness. If you couldn't speak, you wouldn't be consciousness. Not speak, but if you weren't able to comprehend a language, would you be conscious? Yeah, but to comparatively a very low level to somebody that could. Being able to communicate is what makes you conscious, because then you can speak to yourself. Your brain can interact within itself because of that, right? If you weren't able to use language, I don't understand. When you sit still, not everybody has this capacity, by the way, which is also what's weird. But when you sit in silence, you can talk to yourself, right? A lot of people talk to themselves in their own head. I talk to myself all the fucking time. Like, in my head right now, I can just say random things to myself. If you couldn't speak, you wouldn't be able to do that, right? Or not even speak. If you couldn't use language, if you didn't understand any language, if you didn't know English, Spanish, German, French, Mandarin, Italian, whatever fucking language you speak, right? Or no. If you didn't know any language, you would be on the same level as other animals. And so you would be conscious, and you would probably be more intelligent than, you know, a fucking squirrel. But you would still be, you wouldn't really be conscious to the level that you would have philosophical thought or think that your consciousness is valued. The only reason you think your consciousness is valued is because you've convinced yourself of such, because you know language. If you didn't know language, you would have never even arrived at that opinion, right? Because your consciousness wouldn't be valuable, because you would have never deemed it as valuable, because you wouldn't really be that conscious. Solely for the 5. If the universe was created for one human main character, who would it have been? I don't really know. Sully for the 5. Dog, I'm high. I'm just yapping. Don't take what I say seriously. Bro, I'm just going to respond to what you say.
In the universe class, in particular, you can...
What about deaf people? Deaf people know language. Deaf people know American Sign Language. They can still have a translated capacity for internal thinking. Just because you're deaf doesn't mean you don't understand language. ASL, dude, American Sign Language, or other forms of sign language. They can still communicate within themselves. Not always. I mean, it depends. There are people that don't know any languages. And I would say that if you met them, I'm not trying to fucking implicate any sort of like, oh, they're lower than us in any way. They're not. But the people that don't know languages are not as conscious as people that do, right? Because they have a lesser capacity for contemplative thinking or philosophical thinking. It's just the inability to be able to think about these things. If you're unable to think, do I exist? Then you're not as conscious as somebody that is, you are not as conscious as somebody that is able to do that.
Could be a
Vince for the sub.
Brain that, just by chance, emerged in a dead universe with your complete set of knowledge and memories. This is a pretty bizarre idea, but if we do the math...
What if you're deaf and blind? You're ignoring my point. Right, being deaf and blind. Okay, Helen Keller. I'm not going to get into the fucking talk of that. Right? If you're deaf and blind, that doesn't matter. If you're, my point is, regardless of perception, right? Regardless of whether or not you're deaf, blind, or neither, or both, if you don't know a language, you are not as conscious as something that does. That's what differentiates us much more than other animals, is our capacity. You know what the fuck I'm saying. What I'm saying right now makes sense in your head. Obviously, you might not understand the point that I'm trying to make, but you can interpret and understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, and you can do the same within your own brain. That's what makes you conscious. Your brain convinces you that you're conscious because all you are is your fucking brain, in my opinion, right? Some people would disagree, but I separate myself from my brain when they're basically one and the same. I exist somewhere inside my brain. My brain isn't necessarily all of me, but I am it. Somebody that has Alzheimer's or deep-rooted dementia loses themselves, right? They're no longer them. If you have a relative that has, I have relatives that have dementia or Alzheimer's. If you know somebody that has Alzheimer's and died from it, near the end of their life, they're not even them anymore because they don't have memories, right? Memories is another big thing. They forget how to speak. They forget everything. And if they can't remember anything of them, then they're no longer conscious, right? To the capacity that you would determine consciousness as being. Raspberry for the 3. That's why one of my biggest fears is Alzheimer's or dementia. I fear death, obviously, but one of the worst ways to die is from forgetting who you are. Raspberry for the 3. My cat has a high chance of not surviving from a sickness. I know he's just a cat, but thank you for being a distraction. I'm going through my life and death on the pad on top of that. It's appreciated for real. No problem. And I hope your cat's going to be okay, man. And I'm sorry that you're going through that.
It's kind of pretty
new,
solid. Let's compare the number of brains inside bodies in a living universe with the number of naked brains in a dead universe. Let's go really big and imagine that a total of 100 quadrillion humans will live around Earth, and that the same amount of people will live around every star in the universe. If we add this together, we get about 10 to the power of 41 brains inside bodies that will exist. However, in a dead universe that has had enough time to explore all possible fluctuations and that will exist forever, the number of naked brains that would emerge is, well, infinite. So the probability that you're a floating brain is not only vastly larger than the probability that you're a real human, it's so inconceivably larger that we can't even meaningfully quantify the difference. How do you compare a number to infinity? So, are you a floating brain that exists for one moment in time, then basically forever passes, and then you exist for another moment in time? Maybe not even in that order. Maybe your life happens backwards, and you just don't notice. Maybe you've lived trillions of times already. Are you the dream of a dead universe?
Wow.
Really? Like, really? Well, probably not. First of all, there are a few loopholes. For example, dark energy could behave completely differently from what we think today and lead us to another future.
MC Mike and Isle Alive for the sub, Sully for the 10. Don't know how long is left to stream. I gotta go. Thank you for the stream. See you, everybody. Dub.
Or maybe our dead universe will be too motionless to allow the creation of brains, even with infinite time. Or maybe the universe will end up dying in another way. Our understanding of the cosmos doesn't have a solid enough foundation for anyone to worry if they're real or not. Loopholes aside, if you were a fluctuating brain, all the laws of physics stored in your brain would have originated at random and shouldn't bear any relation to the real world. But we just used those laws to prove that you're a floating brain. So even if you believe that you are a floating brain, you'd have to admit that you have no good reason to believe that you are actually a floating brain. Okay, so this hallucinatory...
That sounds like a fucking paradox. You're new for the three. If somebody is blind and deaf and they can live forever, they would eventually learn by themselves and teach themselves how to do everything right. No. If people that are blind and deaf, if you were, say you were blind and deaf and you never moved and you lived forever, you just wouldn't ever really have thought. If you were like, say at birth, you were blind and deaf and you never moved and they like strapped you to a chair and you just existed and you like never needed food and you were immortal, you would never learn anything because you need perception to be able to learn. Helen Keller learned through touch, right, is one of the main ways that she was able to, learn things. If you don't have perception, you can't learn anything because your brain has no input.
Trip might teach us something about our theories about the universe. But in the end, it's just a really weird exercise in what you can do with physics. An exercise of what brains and bodies are able to think about. So don't worry. You're not a dream of the dead universe. Probably. At Kurzgesagt, we love discussing topics like Boltzmann brains because we're...
Advertisement. All right, that was a W video. Fresh for the sub. Chat, we're calling that there. W fucking stream. I'm man for the sub. I appreciate everybody that fucking popped in. We had a great chat, great audience. A lot of people on the stream peaked at like fucking 4.4K. It was crazy. I'll be live tomorrow at noon. I'm going to be live early tomorrow. We're going to be doing like an hour and a half of reacts tomorrow. We're going to be doing like an hour and a half of gaming. Then we have a 3-hour watch party. I'm going to be live from noon EST to 6-ish doing the big 3 basketball watch party where like a bunch of previous NBA players do 3v3s, and it's going to be really fun. Might watch it with JoJo. Tomorrow, that's what we're doing. Sunday, I'm not live. Monday, we're going to do a bit of reacts to make... I'm doing reacts a little bit tomorrow and Monday to make up for the fact that I'm not live Sunday. We're going to do like an hour and a half reacts on Monday as well, and then we're going to play all Firewatch. Tuesday, I'm not live. Wednesday, I'm doing scary games. Maybe with Max or other streamers. I don't know for sure. Thursday, I'm probably going to be doing either games with other streamers or random sim games, Roblox, and maybe some other horror shit or whatever. Random shit. Friday's reacts. Saturday's going to be a bunch of new VR games and some other VR games I haven't played in a while. Next Sunday's reacts. Next Monday is going to be an FMV game and then some random other shit. But yeah. X Alex for the 3. I'm going to upload on YouTube right when I end, so make sure to go watch that. Outside of that, chat, if you have any videos you want me to react to or games you want me to play, exclamation point Discord. Video shop, game session, appetite. Find most of the videos I watch the games that I play. XX Alex for the 3. Have you checked out the library at Babel? Yes. Anyways, chat. Join the Discord, video share tab, game chat tab. I would very much appreciate y'all's suggestions on what you want me to play or react to. And outside of that, I will see you guys tomorrow. And let's fucking raid. Who do we want to fucking raid today? Let's raid fucking Tony Statovci. Because he's playing Elden Ring. But yeah. I'm going to upload on YouTube, so go watch that. But outside of that, chat, I'll catch y'all tomorrow. We are going to raid in 543.